Hey, it's the Bennington Show on a Wednesday. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Ew.
I am Ron Bennington. Today we're going to be doing an Unmasked with Joe Coy, which we're going to be playing on Friday.
Yes.
My hope is it'll be a very, very good one.
I think it's going to be great. Joe Coy is awesome, and I'm super excited to finally meet him.
I'm trying to figure out whose high school picture that is. I keep saying in the reflection there. What is that?
Where is it coming from?
That's Dennis Falcone's, I think, like old employee photo that was made the wallpaper months ago, and nobody's ever changed it.
Why do I see it in the reflection? Is it in the computer in there?
Yeah, it's on the call screening computer in there.
This is like Funhouse mirrors.
Yeah, Dennis looks like a narc that would never make a single buy. Nobody would be dumb enough to fall into it.
Hey, and you know where I could score some dope? Kids? I mean, Pierce?
Sure.
By the way, the Big Brothers are in here, and your show goes up every Friday, right? The Big Brothers show.
Yes, Friday.
And tomorrow night, there is a new head of household, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. I can't.
Super exciting.
First of all, this is the only year they've never voted anyone out of the house yet. There's still 90 people in that house.
Yeah, we have a long way to go.
Now, I'm going to ask you, Jen, I'm going to ask you, Gail, and be honest with me. Don't even look at these two guys.
I won't.
Would you say that you're a regular listener to Big Brothers?
Yes, I am. I'm a regular listener.
Did you listen to the last episode?
Jen's
being quiet. You won't listen to your friend's show.
I'm not a regular listener. I'm like,
But you watch Big Brother.
I love Big Brother.
But you won't listen to your friends. And let me tell you why. Their analysis is terrible. I am screaming at them by what they think is good ideas. And I'm going to give you one right now. Unless there's a major change on the show. Because led by Chris, but followed by Vito, that Kevin is going to be a natural America's favorite player, right?
Yeah.
There's no signs of that because they don't play him on the CBS show. You think Kevin's great because you watch the feeds.
Yeah.
Chris thinks he's great because he looks at your stuff about the feeds.
Yeah.
I watch.
If you're just going off the show, you've never seen Kevin.
Now, I had noticed this on the actual CBS show for whatever reason, and it must be happening a lot in this house. Whenever you see a shot of Kevin, he's either like fixing his hair, like fixing his clothes, or he's taking his clothes into the other room because he's going to change his clothes. Like he's a guy who's like always seems like he's putting on a little cologne.
He's a clothes horse.
Yeah, he really is.
No, there's no doubt about that. And when he was a youngster, he was a very attractive young boy band looking type. Now
yeah, I believe
he's got a great older gangster thing. But Chris, why would you say it's a slam dunk when he didn't even get picked for any of the things by America? And 4 weeks, 4 people got America's favorite thing?
Yeah.
And Kevin hasn't even mentioned fucking Jessica jumps ahead of him. So you guys are doing a very bad podcast because you're not paying attention.
Very bad. Sad.
You should be raging that Kevin isn't on more.
It is ridiculous he's not on more, but on Jokers, he's back to number 1.
Jokers is not the regular people. Jokers are feed people. You got to be thinking of fucking Grandma Lunchbox out there who doesn't check online. Look, I have a friend. He doesn't live a public life. He hates every time you bring up the feeds. He wants to see it as a old school TV show.
He likes it as a program.
And those are the people that are going to vote. And they're not. The only way that you know that Kevin's great is if you watch the feeds.
Yeah.
This is why you need to fire Chris and do the show with me.
The only argument I'd have towards him not being one of the people who got the temptation is that people wanted to see power moves from the temptation, and giving Kevin one of those temptations wouldn't have done anything. And while giving somebody like Jess the temptation, you're going to see it get used.
You remind me of a talking head on one of the fucking networks that you believe that the American people are more thoughtful than they are.
Yeah,
they are not. There's no way that the American people think, let's do this because we can see a power move. They think, let me pick my favorite person.
They don't care about gameplay. They don't watch it the way you watch it.
Gameplay or gay play? Which are you doing?
Gameplay. But I also think, and I've said this before, I think that the production has had a little interference with these votes because there's no reason America would have voted for Jess.
What you're bringing up, brother, is a felony. felony.
I know it's an issue because once there's money involved in a game show format, there's legalities involved.
They could end up losing CBS over that.
So what you're trying to tell me is you think you're taking Big Brother very literally. You're thinking they're puppeting this whole thing and controlling the house.
Every season, there's a conspiracy of that Grodner, the executive producer, is fixing.
But why don't you guys catch that in your show? Why are you, seriously, two slack-jawed apes?
Grodner comes up all the time.
Moaning and groaning on that show.
Now I know why Jen doesn't listen.
Also, I'm going to throw one more thing out there, and then we can drop it. I think Matt might be slow playing this season. I think he may be a much better player. But fucking, I only see what's in front of me, Chris Stanley, and I agree with everything Chris says.
Yeah.
Fucking power of veto. They're not seeing that just because you're playing as a floater and you're playing low doesn't mean that you won't fucking turn it on in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And by the way, you will have forgotten about Jessica when there's only 5 players left.
Yeah.
Because that happens a million times.
Yeah.
Where you act like, I'll never forget this player. And they're gone within a month of you.
Yeah. I mean, there's still so much time. It was like one of the recent fights where somebody was snapping at someone else. And I was like, most likely Josh. And I was like, fuck, they've been in that house since before 4th of July. It's just really weird to think that they still have so much longer to go. There's so many people.
Middle of September.
Wake me up when September ends. Why is that a song? What the fuck is he singing about? What's that mean? What is happening in September that he wants to go into a coma?
Foliage?
Foliage?
No, that's too
really
early.
kicking in October.
Yeah.
People forget the first 2 weeks of September is the summer.
Yeah, it really, yeah. Why does he want to miss I mean, that's a kind of a nice time.
I believe that he was on a trip to another planet and he wanted to be woken up so he'd be there in time for the trip.
Exactly.
You know.
This is,
he's traveling lately.
Yeah.
Years.
Let me skip September.
Long September. There's reason to believe. Anyway, what I'm saying is this. Do not watch Big Brothers. It comes out on Sunday.
Friday.
Could you guys put a little more thought into it, though? Could you just not be a last-minute thing and discuss it like a fucking fan like me wants to hear it discussed?
Like real theories.
Vito, you know I'm not talking to you. You know that in your heart. But I need you to run the show because he's not going to care about it. But prep him a day before on fucking topics.
Yeah.
And just keep him like, you come up with a good point and then he just tries to power veto, you know, like tries to have a catchphrase. It's not what I'm looking for.
He's laying you down.
I mean, I know he's got his money coming in October.
Yeah.
That's why he's singing Wakes Me in September.
He's been backing the show. That's why I have to keep him.
I've been hearing the figure I heard from the other day and from a media person was $31.8 million.
Yeah, and I believe it. Because that rumor, how else would there be such a specific number?
I want you to give me $30 million in that.
Jesus Christ.
Saving his life.
To invest.
Can't comment on money.
This is a fucking bull market, my friend.
But you can say percentage-wise how much you'll give us, right?
I can't talk
As
about money
gift.
or settlements or anything.
Percentage. That could be any number.
I'm willing to settle for 7% right now. Say another word, he goes to 8%. Another word, 9%.
I signed a confidential.
10%.
I signed a confidential
Oh
agreement.
my God! No,
Well, sign one with me. I signed a confidentially sell it where I'm actually confident. Unlike you, fucking screwing around. I don't want to get the power company upset. I do, baby. Why? I live my life on the edge.
that's cool.
Let me tell you something.
That's
about
really
me.
cool.
I live my life like there's no tomorrow. All my life, I've had to steal. At least I don't need to beg or borrow. And then something else. And by the way, why is he so fucking proud that he stole instead of begged or borrowed? Borrowed is something a nice thing.
Yeah, it sounds like you're gonna give it back. Not like a common piece of shit who would borrow something. I took what wasn't mine.
Let's have a little topic today, shall we, guys?
Yes.
Let's have a fun. Well, I'm gonna now start and call these fun topics.
All right. So this is a question that it's in my brains the other day.
Okay,
All
in your
right.
brain juice.
So you tell me what you think is a worse scenario.
Mm-hmm.
You're dating someone.
That's the worst scenario.
No, it's good. You
I like
like
to pay
this
for
person. things are getting serious and you start to hear a little bit more about their background.
Mm-hmm.
You find out something about people that they have been with in the past. What is worse to you? That everyone...
That it was a Jew.
No, listen.
Oh, God.
All right. I didn't know where we were going. I thought we were voting.
That every person that they have dated is exactly like you. Looks like you. Maybe they are from the same line of work. Maybe they're people that you know. You are their type. And that you are one of a bunch of other people that are very similar to you. Or you find out that they have an entirely different type and you're like none of the people that they've dated, and either like economically they're totally different, race, whatever, height, whatever that thing is, you're just like, you're not attracted to me. How could you be? You're clearly attracted to this type of person.
Okay. First of all, no matter which side it is, I'm bringing it up during an argument. Like that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not one of your fucking geek. You know what I mean?
Hey, sure.
Why don't you go blow somebody from San Diego? You know, so it's coming up. But I'm going to say this: to be thought of as a type, frightening to me. I would make me feel like they're a serial killer, because I think serial killers have a type, not human beings.
Yes. I bring this up because in past circumstances, two different guys that I dated, I found out both of those things, and they were both extremes, and they were both very weird to me and disturbing in totally different ways. One, I saw pictures of an ex-girlfriend, and I was like, that's kind of weird. She's short, the same hair style and type, kind of dressed like me, seemed very similar. And then found out another chick from his past, very similar. And then dated somebody who I was like, oh, you had a type, and I am the complete opposite of that type of girl. Both of them very weird.
Let me even ask you this. I'm going to ask the guys first, and then I'll bring one back for the girls. Would you feel worse if your girlfriend dated guys that had a success thing or a looks thing? And both of these have to do with Jen. So, because Jen has a success, she does want to date.
She does like success.
She likes success very much, but she also likes looks.
I would think what's worse would be looks, because it's just super shallow and superficial. I think that'd
You
be
don't
worse.
think success is superficial? Like, I like a guy who has a nice car.
I've actually heard you complain about the other. I've heard
He
you
doesn't think
complain.
this is why Big Brothers is a fake.
I've heard you complain about women
Who date for success.
who date men with money and date men who are in a successful position.
But let me also say this about Chris. He's not going to be talking honestly about this because there's ladies in the room. He is much more honest when it's just guys.
Yeah, you're
And
one of
then
those types.
You
want us to step out and you want to give your true opinion?
Can I tell
Me and
you
Jen
what-
will step out.
I saw him go out to lunch with some guys, and he ordered dude broth. The soup of dude bros. Dude broth.
Ew.
Can I just tell you this? I'm so happy you guys even got that. I just wrote it as weird thing. I'm like, I'm putting that together.
Right.
And
You're
then
like,
I'm
I hope
thinking,
they get that I've just added a TH
and I
when it comes to
almost
food.
was, like, I even said he went out with some dude bros, you know, but I'm like, no, you know what? Let me float it and see if they can catch it on dude broth alone. But Chris, you have said the opposite. You said you don't like girls who date for success.
I have said the opposite, but I think the worst would be for dating for looks. But no, I don't like the dating for
Well,
success.
I thought
you
dating
hate
for
women.
looks is what drives everybody.
Yeah. I mean,
No
that's
one's
what
gonna
men
say-
do.
Yes. No one's going to say, oh, God, I find this disgusting woman. Real butterface. Dudes, you got to meet her. She's frightening. Everything about her is just
Crazy about her.
scary. Yeah. I don't think anything's centered where it should be. So, no, I don't think that that's true.
Yeah.
But there's something like everybody can admire a beautiful woman, but not everybody can admire a handsome man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because some men look like they spend too much time on it, which makes them less manly.
Yeah, and I can kind of compartmentalize. Like, I can see a man. He's physically attractive.
Like Chris.
I get it.
Me.
Yeah. like someone like Chris walks in and you're like, oh yeah, but what else you got? I mean, that's like kind of how women are. You still, or at least me, I feel like you still kind of have to prove that I could be sexually attracted to you,
Right.
not just because you're visually stimulating to look at. You're, you know, like a lot of things are nice to look at.
Now, Jim, which would make you, like, say he only dates Trinidadian girls, or he never?
Girls who look just like you, or girls who are totally the opposite of you.
I had a similar situation where it's like the guy I dated, you know, I would bring I was kind of obsessed, where I would show everyone like the girl he was dating after me, and I would show everybody like, oh my God, Jen, she looks just like you. And I'm
That's
like, oh my
weird.
God, don't tell me that. And so I'd rather her not look anything like me so I could feel a little bit better.
That's worse.
Yeah.
That not that the person before did, but the
Yeah, I
person
didn't
after, because now they found a better you,
Yeah.
That's how I feel. That's
Yeah.
how I feel.
a you that isn't
I
so
didn't even
fucking cunty.
consider. I didn't less obsessive. You know what I mean? Less.
Judgmental.
Yeah. But I hadn't even considered that. I was thinking like what happens beforehand, but the aftermath.
But-
of just being like, oh, so it's just like me but different. Fuck you.
But there are women that like they only date, let's say, writers, or they
Yeah.
only date Wall Street guys. But it's very rare. I think a man like I date models, but that means he's a fuck up, right?
Yeah.
Like a guy who's like, hey, look at her. I'm not a loser. Look who I got. That guy we don't. That
Right.
guy's probably not even sexual. It's a guy who like dates not just to show off. That means that he feels bad about himself.
That's why it's almost like two entirely different questions for men versus women. Because in a man's, like for women, it could mean just like physical. It could just be like, oh, he only dated blonde girls, or he only dated black girls, and now he's with me. And then, or, oh my God, these girls are identical. For men, it's like, you find yourself in like a Bull Durham situation where you're like, that guy is like my peer, or like you clearly have an interest of somebody who's just like into the same career path as
Yeah,
me.
she dated ball players, which,
Right.
you know, may seem weird, but maybe it's not. I mean, that's,
Right.
you know.
If that's the world that interests
Right.
you.
But I think is that even weirder than I only date Chinese girls? Or, you know what I mean? Like, guys who do that have a type. Like, quite frankly, I don't have a problem if you have a porn type. That's your thing. But should it be a life type?
Right.
That's
like
weird.
a human woman is
Yeah.
just like,
Chris's type is always functioning alcoholics.
right.
And that's because he needs to share that.
Oh yeah.
He'd
Like-
never be able to make it otherwise.
Like, I don't even
Horrifying.
like girls who are like, I like an outdoorsy guy. I'm like, what are you talking? Why can't you just go outdoors by yourself?
Right.
Go on
You
a
know?
hike. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Right. That's a perfect example. If you saw that all of their exes were like these,
Texas.
like these types who are just like loved whitewater rafting.
Yeah.
And then you're like, camping, hiking, and you would just be like, fuck, I don't do any of that shit. And they're like, but I like you. You know what I mean? Like you're different than those other guys.
Well,
You'd be
you know
like,
what's funny?
huh?
I like the AC.
I have a lot, but you know, you can get those little ACs for your tents now.
Really?
Look it up. Yeah, it's really fucking nice. You know,
So luxurious.
I did it when I was in Africa.
Africa.
Yeah.
What are you doing in
Africa's-
Africa?
You know, I'm a big game hunter.
I didn't
I
know.
went big game
Jesus.
hunter with Eric Trump.
I didn't know.
What do you feel like? You don't know a bit? You fucking.
Are you just-
You don't know? You try to fucking undermine a bit.
Why did you just try to fucking unmask him right
Yeah.
now?
I was curious. I know you,
You
went to
weren't
Africa.
curious. You were like, "Oh, I think I'm doing improv." Because the bit is over and we move on, Chris. Africa's not the fucking bit here. It's dating,
Got it.
It's yes and not what and.
huh? You're disgusting.
I know you and you've never been
Oh,
to
you know what?
Africa.
I went to Africa to slave trade. Is that okay
my
with you,
God.
Chris? I'm bringing slaves here, modern day slaves, for a new TBS show we're doing.
Improv took a dark turn.
Has that show been stopped? The modern day slave show?
Not yet.
How
But
can you, or HBO is doing it?
yeah.
But how can you judge a show before you see it? And why is that not an interesting premise? What if there were still slaves? It doesn't mean that it's going to be great. I don't think you're going to watch. This show's great.
Just so you know, doesn't mean there's going to be slaves anymore. Like, it's still just a fictional thing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's
Oh.
just an idea that they came up with. And how is that any more?
Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, any more weird than Handmaid's Tale. That's just the
knew you were going
same
there.
situation where you're going, what if the world was fucking crazier
And
than
you're
it was?
supposed to go, that's a bad idea, having Handmaid's Tale. And it would also be a bad idea to have slaves.
Right.
Although your MBTA teams would be much cheaper. We'd put together this, our salary cap is $1. Vito, do you have a type?
I've only seriously dated Italian women, which
That's
I don't.
weird.
I've
your
noticed
mom?
that about. But I've had
You have a mom
sex with
thing.
other girls that were not Italian.
Yeah.
I
But
never.
not when we knew you.
Now,
No.
so you're racist against
I'm not
all other
racist.
races.
I'm just. That's what I found in a relationship. And then I never thought I'd mind being part of it. I thought I'd prefer to be part of a type. But then I dated a girl who before me only dated like muscular guys. And then I got really fucking mad about stuff a lot. Like
Started eating.
yeah, it's like she'd be like, "Do you want to go for a run?" And I'd be like, "I obviously don't want to go for a run. You know me by now. I would never want to go for a run."
It hurts my feet, my giant feet. You try running in skis.
Ouch.
Now, I remember when John Mayer said in a Rolling Stone thing, he goes, "I'm not racist, but my dick is," which is kind of a street
Right,
joke.
sure.
People were furious with
They don't
him.
like it.
But the thing is, he's just saying he has a type. It's not. I mean, what's weirder than that? Doing nothing but dating black girls?
Well,
if you're a white guy?
now-
That's kind of fucking weird.
By the way, that's a thing. Like when you fetishize race, I think it's very strange, particularly if you're the type of guy, and they're out there, who are like, I don't know if you know this about me. I'm quite interesting. I date a black woman. Okay, cool.
I'm
You
not.
mean a human woman who's attractive?
I lie about that.
Fine. Like it's a weird thing. Like it goes both ways. You could be like, oh, that's what you're into, so you can't help it. But it's also like, but then don't fucking pat yourself on the back. Like I'm pretty interesting because of the whole interracial thing. That's so obnoxious.
I'm pretty interesting because I'm into race play. We drop a couple of really uncomfortable things when we have sex.
You know, like it was over the weekend. There was a big controversy. Everyone was talking about it on Twitter about this guy who wrote the piece about his wife being overweight. Did you see this?
No.
So he like writes this piece about my wife is overweight and I love her. And it's like this whole thing about how he finds his wife attractive. And you know, some people were like, thank you. We need guys like you in the world. When majority of the people are going, you want a fucking award for being attractive to your wife.
Like everybody in Iowa.
By the way, like, you know, there's a picture of her and she's just like not thin. She's
let me
not, you know
take
what I
a-
mean?
let
Like
me
she's not
see.
morbidly
Let's
obese.
just say her.
And he writes this thing going, you know, me, I like a woman with curvy thighs and big hips. To me, she's beautiful. Well,
To
look
me.
at her. She's attractive. And it's not like he's
Whoa! No.
this is not, I mean, it's not that challenging what
First
he's
of all,
talking
she
about.
can still get away with wearing a bathing suit, where
Yeah,
he, on the other
exactly.
hand, can't.
I know. This is the other thing. He's acting like he's some kind of a prize. Like
Like he
hey,
lowered himself.
to you guys, I might be a very attractive man. Nope. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing shocking.
Sorry, Thimble Dick, we're not trying to do that story.
So everybody, you know, immediately jumps on this guy for being this viral sensation, for just being attracted to
Chinless
his own
fucking wonder.
Yeah, look at it.
She's better looking than him.
100%.
Yeah.
There is nothing.
He's got a fucking head like a quarter.
Yeah. He's like, I'm a pretty interesting dude. I'm attracted to someone who's attractive.
Yes.
Like, okay, cool. You have fucking patchy beard and
by the way,
chest hair. Like,
Great look.
you know,
There's a whole fucking thing for chubby chasers anyway. People are very attracted to bigger women.
totally. Which is like the same idea. Is just like, yeah, but it's
He's a
a
cock.
decision that
I
you're.
hate him.
It's a decision that your dick made. You can't really be patting yourself on the back like you. And he specifically cites feminism, that he's with her because he's a feminist, instead of just being like, no, that doesn't make you a feminist. You're attracted to her. That's what your dick wanted.
Yeah.
Who gives? You know what I mean? Like, who gives a fuck?
And plus, you know, there's a difference between lust and love. You can love somebody,
Yes.
not be attracted to them, and you could be attracted to them, but really be annoyed by them. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, the second you come, you're like, oh my God, look who I'm fucking stuck with.
Yeah.
This fucking hideous woman. And I'm talking about Chris gets that from his chick, right?
I don't believe so. No.
But you know, if women did what he did in this circumstance, this would be like all women. All women would be like, you know, my husband doesn't look like Brad Pitt, but I love him.
Yeah, that's every woman.
Like 100%. There's literally one of you out there that looks like Brad Pitt. And like, that's it. And like, everyone else is just like dating and married to people, and they find things that they love about them. They're not sitting there going, didn't get Brad Pitt, so I guess I'm going to be with this dude. And that makes me a good person. It makes me kind to men. Right.
I'm with old back hair.
I mean, this would be
that guy wouldn't be able to pick up a woman anywhere. That's just a fucking true fact. I think all the guys agree on this, right?
Yeah.
He is not a guy.
Like, I mean,
he's a fucking.
This fucking guy's a faux hawk in this
By the way,
picture.
where are they at? San Francisco?
San Francisco.
He's
yeah.
definitely not getting laid in California.
Yeah.
I mean, he could get laid in Western Pennsylvania. I'm sure.
this would be
That guy wouldn't be able to pick up a woman anywhere. That's just a fucking true fact. I think all the guys agree on this, right?
Yeah.
He is not a guy.
Like, I mean,
he's a fucking.
This fucking guy's a faux hawk in this
By
picture.
the way, where are they at? San Francisco?
San Francisco.
He's
yeah.
definitely not getting laid in California.
Yeah.
I mean, he could get laid in Western Pennsylvania, I'm sure, with a drunk girl. At California, that competition's too fucking hard for men. You got money on one side and the beach on the other. It's fucking, you know what I mean? It's fucking disastrous. All right. So there's that. So Vito has a fucking type. It's just pure Italian. Chris has a type. Girls that like him back.
Yep.
that is a totally
Chris,
acceptable type.
You've been together with your girl for how long?
4 months.
So you're still in the glow of this, right?
Yeah, very much so.
So
yeah.
all weekend long, I'll get texts from him. Guess what I just did? I go,
What?
Chris, don't send that to me.
Dude, you
Yeah.
can't do that shit.
Oh,
You're
just write to me. I'm going to need a shower after what I just did.
Oh my God, Chris!
that was just
she's a
between you
nice.
and me, Ron.
She's a nice girl.
There's nothing between just you and me. Your life is an open book. My life is a closed book.
I gotta learn that.
He opens your book by force.
I open your book like there's no tomorrow.
But really, you shouldn't send texts like that about your lady
disgusting.
friend. Your
I'm trying to
special
curb
lady
that
friend.
behavior.
He's disgusting. And then he wrote to me one night, looks like she just won 3-1.
Chris,
It was fun.
Uh,
not to mention this is your boss. I mean,
I got one that just said afternoon delight.
That's hilarious.
And a YouTube link to that.
I guess this explains it all.
He wrote, he actually texted me, looks like I'm working on an appetite. Better get a little, and then the YouTube link. And I watched it for minutes before I'm like, oh, I get what he's doing.
I get where this. Woo! Afternoon
Look,
delight.
Vito looks so left out of everything.
Aw.
Oh yeah, I'm just alone.
Why are you trying to wear a fucking thing like Kevin around your head every night? I'm trying to be the new Kevin.
No,
really
I really, it makes me sweat so much less. I feel a happier person.
I really am ready to be done with this look, though.
I'm not going to, and especially
and I
because
say this because I'm your friend.
What are
I'm
you
your
going to do in the
friend.
winter?
probably just keep wearing them. I mean,
No,
the other day,
please don't.
the other day, John Bones Jones said to me, it looked like I had a lot of swag with my headband, and I was really
Who
excited.
said it to you?
John Bones Jones, the UFC champion. He was in the hallways at Sirius, and he said that headband's got swag, and I said, thanks, John.
Oh, I hate him.
All
I hate
right.
John's
Chris was
Why?
furious about it when he found out.
because now he's never gonna fucking take it off.
Oh, I thought you hated him even before then.
Oh, he's pretty cool.
Let's see.
There's John Bones.
He does look.
John Bones, John Bones.
Kevin actually does one of those faux pas you guys really hate. He walks around the house in a tank top and boxers a lot.
No problem. Why would we hate? I mean,
He's
it's not a
allowed to
faux
do
pas.
whatever.
Why is
he
it a
wants.
faux pas?
And I don't think that's ever anything I've ever disliked.
I thought you
neither.
guys said you guys didn't like that.
Never.
Tank
Oh,
top
yes.
and boxers?
Yeah, because I said I wore it. You guys called me gross and disgusting.
That's you.
No,
That's
you.
different. You're gross.
It's not what you did.
Oh,
It
God.
doesn't matter what you're wearing.
I mean, have you seen Kevin?
Well, I feel like a fool.
I like the idea that Kevin does that. I like everything about him.
In a house full of people, though?
Love his
What's
set.
the problem?
Whatever. They see each other
They're-
constantly. They're always
yeah.
naked. It's fine.
They're
They're
not
always
always-
popping titties out and just being very comfortable.
This
How
season,
much sex has happened this season?
this season, there's been a lot of sex.
A lot
Yeah.
of jacking
Now-
off, a lot of blowjobs.
I love
I
full-on
saw-
sex, too.
I saw you now you showed me a clip of the what is
Matt and Raven.
Matt
Maven.
and Raven. Crazy Raven and Stone Cold
Steve Austin.
Fox Matt. And she's giving him an HJ in the bed And it was maybe one of the most graphic things I've ever seen. Like, it was so graphic, and I didn't even see the dick, but it still was like, I'm uncomfortable.
Was she jerking fast and hard?
Yeah, she was changing speeds and changing angles, but it was more so that her behavior was like his face. He was doing like ecstasy, like really happy face,
Good for
and it
him.
made it really graphic. And I was like, man, this is so strange. I'm uncomfortable. I feel like I
Did you
shouldn't be.
catch it just as he was coming?
Yeah, it looked.
Or was
it
he
looked,
happy even in the beginning stages?
I think that the video I saw looked like he was going right into, just about to, and then into it. I think. I mean, that's what I hope he doesn't make that face the whole time.
It's easy.
Just
Let me just say this. I don't think it's easy for a full-grown, experienced man to come from a hand job because you're just like, why not do something else?
And maybe that's what really bothered me about it is that he just looked too easily pleased by a hand job.
But I'll give him this. He's stuck in that house. He doesn't even want to jerk off in the shower.
Sure.
Maybe, it was a build-up that he just needed.
You feel like a 13-year-old boy at that point.
Maybe
You're like,
this is medical at this point.
she's like, get the bad
Let's
stuff.
get medical. I'll stroke your cock. It's medical.
Wasn't there a season where they had a Jack Shack where there was just a box?
Oh, yeah, that was
fucking
Dr. Will's
disgusting guy.
season, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that was that guy. What was his name? The big fucking
Howie.
Howie.
Yeah, Howie.
He used to
would get in a box.
He'd get into a little toy box or something.
By the way, this is the stuff that you're not getting on Big Brothers.
Yeah.
You know, Vito. Friday is the show, right?
Yeah.
Let me fucking get some enjoyment out of this. Don't make me yell back at it, okay?
Okay. We're gonna have a.
Should
I
Chris
don't
not
want
be
to
on
hear
it then?
Paul's gonna fucking waltz his way to win the season. When you saw this week, soon as there's some other power, people are talking behind Paul's back.
And Josh being the one to do that is shocking.
Yeah. For you, it's shocking, not for me,
Dude.
because I'm an experienced watcher of the show.
On Sunday's episode, I thought it was like the craziest thing. Josh gets him a drink, and then he just says, "Put that down there."
Yeah.
And like, the producers, like the editor, like plays this little like sound where you're like, "That's a weird thing he just did," but it was a very poignant thing that I was like, "Whoa, he's overplaying so
And by
hard."
the way,
with
Christmas
these people.
fucking went right to Josh too. Like we can get him. So I told you guys this was going to happen. They're going to take him down like Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
They're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
They're going to wait till the opportunity presents itself and then stab.
You've got to.
It's not good gameplay. That's human nature. Everybody wants the king to hit the fucking floor.
And as Madonna said, it's human nature, and I'm not sorry.
The thing you just said was edited too, where Paul walked into Josh's HOH, said, "Could you give me a minute to talk to somebody in here?" And said, "You know what? Could you also get me a water?" And he bringing back that water was right after that happened.
Okay. This is out of nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
We already got it from that thing. But you're not being able to come over with this, and you're not getting it from Chris.
No.
And let me tell you something
You
today.
surf better.
Well, I'm not even going to bring it up. I saw Chris do something horrifying last week. He just stood smoking in the rain until just the front of him was fucking wet, not the back. And then I had, because he was waiting
he
for
under
me.
an awning or something? Like,
I
why
think
was
he
his
had
back dry?
and leaned against the wall.
Yeah, it was-
but he was waiting for me. So his whole chest and belly and the front of his head is soaking wet. And then it's all dry in the back. And I had to walk on an elevator with him. And he started to talk to me. I go, shh. I didn't want anybody to see that I was with him.
I was shushed.
But
just
your
looked like you
comfortability
wet the front
is
of it.
unbelievable.
And I also don't like holding umbrellas. I really don't like it. I don't like carrying one on a train or on the street.
You don't like
or-
being dry.
Yeah, but the problem is, look at the way you looked when you didn't have an umbrella.
But
And not
everyone
only
gets
that,
wet.
you could have been inside or said, "Ron, I'll meet you upstairs." Instead, you leaned so you could get your wet cigarette
Yeah.
going. And the belly, chest, and face was soaking wet, and the back was dry. Good. I said it. I didn't want to. I waited a couple days so I could see if I still found it interesting. 'Cause some people are like, "You pick on Chris." I go, "Pick on him." All I'm saying is the truth. It would be bad if I went around and tried to get the front of him wet and go, "Look, everybody, he's a nut. He did this on his own."
Not to mention the amount of stuff we just leave on the cutting room floor. You know what I mean? Like, he does some
lot of
shit that
terrible
I'm like,
things.
I'm not going to fuck with him on the air about this tomorrow. I'm going to let it go because he's having a rough day. But
If
I
I
would
was
like
a stranger
to.
and he got on the elevator, I'd have walked off the elevator, and I'll go, "I'll catch the next one."
Because I just saw the situation on
Yeah.
there.
I was
Pretty.
soaked. And then then that day I'm walking into Sirius, like, oh wow, it's really raining out there, isn't it? Like, thanks for
Why wouldn't you
commenting.
just stand all the way in the rain if you're going to get wet?
I agree.
I wouldn't want to dry back in a wet front.
Look, at least half of me was dry. I don't want to be
Wet
totally
front.
soaked. Being totally soak's the real problem.
Do you ever notice too? And let's just jump in on Chris. And again, this is just wetness involved.
Yeah.
You know, have you seen him do this? If it had been raining outside and all the chairs are wet, he'll sit his ass right down in a wet puddle, and everyone else is like, "Dude, what are you doing?" And he's like, "It's just water." And then his ass soaked to his underwear. He's soaked completely, but he doesn't feel discomfort the way you or I feel discomfort. It's so strange.
The wet clothes aren't a problem.
Why?
Only the wet sock. That's really the only thing I have a problem with.
Not the wet underwear.
I feel like that dries fine. Just the wet sock is something that's really irritating.
There's nothing worse than being soaked through on your butt. Like it's a terrible feeling.
Chafing. Like that's like guys will chafe if their fucking underwear get too wet.
He's right.
What, around the dick or something?
Around the
balls, around the
okay, like a little,
whatever.
Like a little diaper rash. You get.
Yes, it's diaper rash. Aww. In Chris's case, he doesn't walk after that, so he's fine. he's set.
Chris,
he moves as much as a boulder.
Chris, if you could, would you just be carried in a baby Bjorn everywhere you go?
God, that'd be great.
First of all, I would do that myself.
That's fucking awesome.
Because you know, Chris, you just got fired from Big Brothers today.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
But seriously, would you guys, I mean, it's a great show. Have some interesting topics. Don't be dumb. I yell back, like, please. If I was you, I'd be on this side of Kevin's. He could win America's Play if they focus on him a little bit. But they haven't at all. You should be angry about that, Chris.
He's going to go far in the game, and then they will focus on him, and then I'll get him America's favorite
There's
player.
some talk about getting rid of him now by some of the other players who feel like he's glided by on a fucking wing and a prayer. So I hope that you're right. I'd love to see him win everything there is to win, but if I was just the fucking TV viewer, just the fucking Tom or Nancy ham sandwich.
A regular crumb bum.
Yeah, living out there in any town, any state, I'd be fucking confused why that old weirdo's in the house. So, Chris, for once, why don't you bring up a topic and we'll, see if we want it.
All right, I have a list from Billboard.com of the most listened to rock bands in the United States right now. I want to see if you can actually guess which ones they are.
First of all, I hate that you bring in lists like everybody else. Now, are these new bands or classic rock bands?
This is all of rock, but there are a lot of classic bands. They're newer and
most
bands.
listened to how? Like streaming?
Streaming, most streamed.
Yeah, that's not most listened to. Because you got to figure the classics have a lot of people still listening on the radio. If you listen to the radio in New York City, you're going to hear Pink Floyd like they came out 2 weeks ago. You're going to hear the Who. I mean, it's amazing to me. Not even that they don't even bother going in deep to the Who. It's still Bob O'Reilly after all these years.
Which they call Teenage Wasteland. I love Teenage Wasteland. It's my favorite song.
My favorite song is Teenage Wasteland because we're all wasted.
I'm not sure why I went with a Jewish character on this. I love Teenage Wasteland. We're all wasted. Wasted.
Every Jew that we do is Jeffrey Gary.
Yeah, 100%.
I met Jimi Hendrix experience, he says. He always says that he met Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
And I try to go, okay, so that would be 1965 or 66, just to see if he'll change his mind. Because he wasn't Jimi Hendrix then.
Yeah.
He was, Jimmy and the Flames or whatever. All right, so if I'm going to be classic rocking this thing.
I have the top 20, and there are classic
That's
rounds.
too much, though. But
right.
Eagles.
Eagles are not on the list.
No,
all right,
this
let's go.
Crazy.
Let's just go. I still think the most streamed has got to be the Beatles. It's got to be still the most streamed.
Number 5.
Number 5.
All right, I'm going to go because of the recent death. I'm going to say Linkin Park.
Number 8.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's say there's got to be another.
I'm going to give an easy one. It's Pearl Jam.
PJ.
Pearl Jam is not on the top 20.
I don't believe this fucking list. Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones are not in this list.
First of all, let me just point this out. You and your fucking list.
Yeah.
You've stopped this fun conversation that we were having. And it's becoming you looking at a list instead of, here, guys, look at this list. It's dumb. You know what I mean? Like, he feels like he holds some power now.
Yeah.
Like he's fucking Steve Harvey. And the show has gone from being a great time, the ball moving around, to him doing, and he did this to us last week.
And you know what the other thing is too? You can't read it as though you would have known these answers. Like, you know, there's something smug about being like, Rolling Stones? No, of course not.
I don't believe any list that doesn't have fucking the Rolling Stones and Pearl Jam onto it, because they're just played constantly. Are you going to tell me Nirvana?
Nirvana's not on the list.
Just read your.
What's like a major, like, Coldplay?
Coldplay's number 3.
People so
White Stripes.
White Stripes not on the list.
Nickelback.
Not on the list.
Yeah. This list is stupid. And this is bad radio.
And these are all rock bands?
Just a fucking guy looking at a list. He doesn't reset the table. He just says, not on the list. Not on the list.
Not on the list of the top 20 most streamed rock bands. According to Billboard.com.
Extended a sentence.
You know what? I can do very well. I'll just hit billboard.com.
Don't.
If I can read the list myself and take your power away.
A popular website.
I don't know who's even. Is hip hop involved in this, or it's got to be rock?
These are all rock bands on this list. From Billboard.com.
Well, they're not going with more, if they're not even doing Nickelback or whatever.
Right.
And then they're also saying that people, Fleetwood Mac.
No, they did not make the top 20.
Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band.
Oh,
did not make the list.
What?
This fucking list doesn't exist.
None of these people are.
It doesn't exist. The fucking things that you're bringing up do not exist. It's a lie.
Why would Billboard.com lie to us?
Why would they ever tell the truth?
Shit, it just fucking blew my mind.
There's no reason. They're not the U.S. government. They're not the church. They can make up any list they want.
They have the numbers from Spotify. That's what I'm saying.
Spotify is not the fucking number one way to stream music.
I don't even know who is in that number one position. Spotify is the one I use.
YouTube?
Yes,
I think
Yeah.
YouTube is above Spotify.
Are they like mostly classic?
These are all bands you probably have heard number 1 and number 2. But
Probably.
Are these?
You've definitely heard number 2.
What?
Give me number 1.
Some of these are people we haven't heard of. Is
21 Pilots.
Yeah, I've heard. Okay, I've
my
heard of
friend
them.
listens to them.
That's number one.
That's number one.
They tried to turn me on to them, and I'm like, they got other bands.
Yeah, I could use less Pilots.
Yeah. Why would you think that we'd want to fucking hear something when 21 Pilots came out? Have you ever heard us play with 21 Pilots before?
Never, I've never heard.
But what would make you then feel that we'd? Where did you think this bit was going? And why a 20? Why wouldn't you just say, guess what the number one fucking shit is? You won't be able to do it. It's 21 Pilots. I could be playing this for 21 years. What's number 2?
Number 2 is Imagine Dragons.
I put them up there with 21 Pilots.
Yeah.
This is a dumb. I don't even consider either one of those rock.
What is?
In my opinion, they're not rock bands.
Radioactive.
Yeah, play the fucking song instead of just sitting there.
Reading lists like you fucking know everything.
I know. Like, you're going to look down on us.
Just say I got hold of this list. Feel pretty good about myself.
What do you say?
I don't know. He slurred something. Now you know, right?
I guess.
What's that crowd doing?
Fucking music video.
Well, maybe you should have set it up and since you like this bit.
This music video's motherfucking my bit right now.
My bit's so strong.
I mean, this bit was going great until this music video showed up. Yeah. By the way, this ain't rock.
No, that's something Chris would
I don't
call
know
rock.
what this is. I sound like an old man. This pansy ass shit.
Yeah.
In my day.
This is something I expect to hear in a Costa Rican fucking beach.
Back in my day, we used to listen to Blink 182.
Seriously, I'd be happy.
Are they on the list?
I'd be happy to have Blink 182 right now.
They're number 9.
Yeah. Yes, I did it.
Good job. Okay, so what this is? What's the bands you really don't like?
Is there anyone on there other than Imagine Dragons that really surprised you?
Something called the 1975.
Yeah, love them.
Yeah.
They're big.
What do you mean something called?
I've never listened
How
to
do you not
1975.
fucking know them? They're fucking great.
I feel like an idiot. This fucking list is making me look
You
like
look
a
like
fucking
a real
asshole.
dick.
Is the XX on there?
No, they're not.
What about Weezer?
Weezer's not on there.
All right, what else do you want to stop? You want to
I don't
stop
wanna
the show.
stop
What
anything
do you want to
else.
stop? Commerce? Huh? You want to fuck? You know what? I'm going to start fucking call you Checkpoint Charlie. We'll drive along. We're having a good show. Everybody was having fun.
I
Sis.
mean,
If
we
you
were
did-
like
When
learning
was the last
about
time
each.
you brought up a list and was driving me crazy?
It was the Quentin Tarantino list last week.
And that also made no sense. Why did their list mean anything?
Good Business Insider.
It's a popular website, right?
Very popular.
When you got him mocking you,
Yeah.
you're on the fucking downside.
Jesus Christ. So that was the list.
Oh, Jesus.
Spotify, the most streamed rock bands on Spotify from Billboard.com.
Bookended it so nicely, though. You have to.
Yeah. The next time I hear about a list from you, I want the name Joe to be in the front of it. But you never invite him back in for some
I
reason.
miss Joe List.
I was just thinking about Joe List. And I
Yeah,
I bet you
right.
were.
I was.
Bet you were, horny boy.
So, Joe, what you doing?
Oh God!
What?
Don't talk to the comedians that way.
I won't. I'm very respectful.
Hey, could you
of all
plug me in?
Of course I can.
There's nothing weird or sexual going on.
God,
What?
stop pushing it, Chris. We know. She was joking.
Oh.
You don't
Once
need to come
again.
in with a defense. An indefensible defense.
This is like the Africa trip all over again.
Right. Let's have this guessed. If I let Vito pick the next topic, will it be better or worse than Chris?
My vote, I think it's going to be better. I
Now
don't think
remember-
it's going to be Spotify.
Remember, if he has a better topic, that makes him a better person.
Oh,
Yes,
come on.
agreed.
So,
I vote worse.
okay. Vito, what topic would you like to discuss?
Do you have any chain stores that just piss you off and you refuse to go to?
Interesting.
Ugh.
What is it
I hope
you're
I stole
trying
it.
to? What are you trying to do?
Well,
you have your own experience. So stop putting on us to come up with that.
Yeah.
You know.
I have a friend who told me they went to Supercuts last week, and in a city like New York where there's great barbershops everywhere, I just couldn't understand why somebody would ever go to Supercuts to get their hair cut.
Dude, people in New York fucking go to Domino's for pizza. So
I've
what
seen
do
it.
they fucking know?
I've seen it.
I mean, they're insane in this country. And there used to be a little bodega in front of, right next to the stand. Then I would get my mints, maybe a lighter, and a water there when I'm standing down the street. They fucking closed down. So I have to walk up 3 extra stores and there's a 7-Eleven. So I get some mints and I got a water. The guy tries to put them in a bag for me, right? I go, I don't need a bag. I take the bag out. I go, he looks at the bag like he's disgusted. Like I'm trying to hand the bag out. I go like that. What? You can't fucking throw away a bag? God, this is because I missed my own store. And I saw how nice he was being to a cop just a second before.
Oh, yeah. That's
the
a type.
cop is like 24. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Right?
Oh, God.
And then he gives me a fucking look because I don't want a bag. I go, you don't know how to throw away a fucking bag. Suddenly I'm like, because the other guy, he was my friend. We joke around.
Sure.
Guys are in there scratching off. It was a very nice fucking place. But that 7-Eleven felt so cold and ugly to me. Do you know the New York cops aren't going to Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah.
What's
Somebody didn't get served at a Dunkin' Donut or didn't get a free donut. So the police union decided. So now kids are smoking weed outside of Dunkin' Donuts all over the public city.
Oh my God! Pass it on. That's a new fucking hangout spot. I'm gonna be hanging out there too.
Do you know they're also talking about dropping the name Donuts, just calling themselves Dunkin'?
Oh, what? Because they have like the flatbreads and all that stupid
Everybody's
shit now.
really excited about their coffee.
Yeah.
So, their coffee's so fucking sweet. It's like having some candy.
Well, I'll tell you that's probably the popular chain that most people go to that I don't is Starbucks. And that's like one of those things that people are like, yeah, but they're nice to their employees, whatever. I don't see a point. And I'll tell you, if I am in a Starbucks and I am getting a snack or a cup of coffee, you know I'm in a dark fucking place. Like, the only times I've ever done it, I've been miserable about the situation. Nothing else was open. Nothing else was around. I had to do it. and I'm fucking cranky as shit about it. I'm never happy with what I get there. I don't like their coffee. I
Their
don't get
food's
it.
terrible. Their food,
Hideous, yeah.
How can you fuck up a cookie or a brownie? It's fucking
so
terrible.
dumb. And I don't understand, because I know other people who are like, I freak out if I don't have my Starbucks every day, or like, oh my god, thank God we just pulled up and there's a Starbucks right next to our hotel. Like that kind of thing. People are like that about their Starbucks coffee. I fucking hate their coffee. I don't like the experience in there. And again, I must be low blood sugar about to faint if you see me eating a fucking Starbucks cookie. I'm in a bad place.
The only thing I'll give them credit for is that healthcare stuff that they do. I think that's a fucking great.
It's cool, and I'm glad.
If somebody says they're working for Starbucks, I'm like, oh man, good. I hope you're getting your fucking healthcare.
Yeah.
But they go, oh, you want one of these brownies? I'm like, no. I don't know how you can fuck up a brownie.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a. How do you fuck up a cookie? A cookie's pretty easy. It tastes good.
Dude, now, I've had this exact conversation about Starbucks where somebody brought up their politics, their what they do for healthcare for their employees, and I think that's really cool. I'm glad that they do that. I don't want them to go out of business, because I'm sure that that's a wonderful thing for people. But a friend of mine referenced this and then was also like, and you go to Chick-fil-A, which, a lot of people who have similar politics to me would not ever go into Chick-fil-A because of, fucking anti-gay shit. I fucking like their sandwiches. I don't know what to tell you. I fucking love those sandwiches. I don't like Starbucks coffee. I fucking love a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Yeah, but if you're really making a political stand, it should be something you like, not don't like. You know what I mean? Like somebody, I can't say, I'm never going into another pet store. That's fucking easy for me.
Right. Right.
But I will say this about Starbucks. They made a deal with the city that they could open up all these Starbucks if they keep their bathrooms open to the public.
Yeah.
So don't think that you have to fucking buy a coffee when you go in to take a hot piss.
Yeah.
Now, the other problem is homeless people know this. There's always a guy in there taking a bath in Starbucks.
Yeah, it's not a great situation, but Starbucks has saved me a couple times where I was ready to piss on the street. Yeah. It's happened to me before where I'm like, I'm going to piss my pants. Oh, thank God there's a Starbucks here.
You ever, go into a bar and they're like, hey, can we help you? And you're like, yeah, I'm going to order after I piss. And they're like, seriously? There's a lot of people just come in here and piss, and we need you to buy something.
And that's always a bad situation, because then, I get into a thing where it's like, if I order something, it's usually going to be a beverage.
Right.
And you're like, then I'll be back to where I started again. I'm going to have to piss again before I leave here.
What I do is just stay in the bar for the rest of the night. So your point is you don't like supercuts?
I don't like supercuts. I think I've seen the haircuts that supercuts give. I don't think it's a good product.
I've seen your hair. You should only do supercuts.
Yeah.
Don't waste your money.
Yeah, what does it matter? Nothing's going to look good spilling out of that headband.
Look, I go to City Clippers, too, on 72nd and Broadway. It's a great spot. I love it. They massage my head sometimes.
I will say this about supercuts. A, it's good for people who don't have any money. But B, it's good for people who just got out of barber school.
Right. It's win-win.
It's like I'm working at Supercuts.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, of course, because it's the fucking 7-Eleven of haircuts.
Hey, you got to cut your teeth somewhere. You know what I mean?
I like the high
dentistry place.
I like the high class supercuts. That's John Lewis David. That's like the salon of supercuts. My mom used to take me there when I was a kid to get my haircuts, and I really enjoyed the experience.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Nobody knows.
It's like supercuts is just like Barbers. John Lewis David is like if you went to a boutique version of supercuts.
I wish you had a fucking list right now.
Oh no!
I wish you had an annoying, stupid list. Nope, not on the list. Didn't make the list.
What's on the fucking list then? Just fucking tell us the list.
The number one name is 21 Pilots.
Yeah.
He fucking knows. He's like, oh, guys, here's a list that's so annoying you're never going to be able to guess anything.
I have a chain that annoys me. I don't know if it's a national chain. but
you know what annoys me? You just ignore all of our
You just bowls right through it.
I was fat shamed at a Men's Warehouse like 10 years ago. So I'm never fucking going back.
Didn't they tell you to go to Big and Tall?
Is it Men's Warehouse for fat guys?
I don't know what the fucking...
That's for fat guys. They got they have
large
the best double XLs in the town.
But I'm going to buy a fucking sports jacket, and the guy keeps fucking busting my balls like, you want to wear this one fit? Like, no. This one fit? No. He wouldn't fucking measure me. He was just banging out fucking jackets left and right. I was like, at one point...
You're going to get that everywhere. Someone's going to say, does this fit?
The guy was
You're the one
fucking
who
fat shaming me,
feels
so I
bad.
stormed out.
Dude, this is a fucking problem with you, man. I mean,
You should have went to
this is like-
Casual Mail.
The guy had a bad fucking attitude.
Casual Mail XL, man. It's a good spot. You like it?
I want to write that down.
They're friendly to you. Now they have a downtown XL location.
There's no mail that's as casual as this fucking guy.
It's too casual.
Yeah, last weekend, there was a fucking kid sitting in here in the stand. I'm fucking doing some crowd work. I make him fucking stand up because he's wearing fucking gym shorts to a fucking nightclub and a fucking tee. And we're in a fucking Manhattan nightclub.
Really bothers me.
I said, I go, I've never been as comfortable as you are right fucking now. Not even when I lay down to go to sleep. In a pair of fucking gym shorts. And I'm like, you see these two girls right here? They're fucking gorgeous. They're out on the town. You're not going to get them.
No,
Because you're
it's
wearing
crazy.
gym shorts to a nightclub.
It is really sick when you think of it that way. Like, women are like, they'll sit there, they'll spend 2 hours before they go out, like, just in case I see a guy. Just like a guy who isn't disgusting. You never know. Someone might not be disgusting at that bar. Let me just take a fucking hour and a half to do my hair, just in case.
Now, here's the other thing that annoyed me. So he fucking, and now he's a young guy, He fucking stands up, and I fucking give him a verbal beatdown. And then I go back to the show, and he's still standing. I turn around and go, I got to fucking tell you to sit down now.
Oh
This
my
is
God.
how little you understand about the world. I got to tell you, my time with you is over.
Are you a
Please sit
robot?
down. I'm not a cop that I'm like, what did I tell you? Did I fucking tell you to stand up or not? I'm a fucking person like you. And he's just standing there and taking a fucking shame beating in his stupid gym shorts. But he didn't go like this to his friends. Oh, yeah, I'd love to go. Let me change my pants. It'll take me 2 seconds. I'm not saying you even have to be clean in that situation. Long pants, nighttime, nightclub. That's it. He could have gotten away with a t-shirt. But he was wearing these stupid 1970s looking gym shorts.
That's weird.
Yeah. It looked
They were
like...
high up?
First of all, don't yell at me, Chris. I'm a fucking
think I
person
was
like you
yelling.
are.
I didn't think I was yelling.
Second of all, watch Dazed and Confused if you want to see the kind of fuck. What I'm saying is he was wearing $1.50 pair of fucking shorts.
I've never worn gym shorts out in public.
Nobody said you did.
I just-
Okay?
I've
Vito,
literally-
nobody. I didn't say I
I've
did this to
literally
Vito.
seen you.
I went to
in-
a bar.
You,
On an
I have
airplane.
okay. You were on an airplane.
Airplane's like a bar.
Then you went out. This is why you didn't get to go to your.
No, I didn't have a hotel room. That's why I didn't have to. I didn't have.
But you were in
We
public,
did
were
have
you
a
not?
hotel.
And you
Did
also
did
had socks and fucking
Guess what? And we dined
flip
together.
flops on.
Yeah, we dined together in that airport.
That's the airport, though. I mean, I don't mind wearing. I'm not going to wear it to a bar though, where I'm like trying to
You
have.
could see anyone in an airport.
I went to a fucking zoo. I saw a baboon dressed better than you.
Oh,
A
no.
baboon looked like it was like cared about itself. I'm not even saying enough to attract people, but enough to look like you're no longer a toddler. I see retired people dressing like toddlers now. Freaks me out more than anything. I'll see these goofy people. They're dressed so comfortably in the city, blah, blah, blah. And then they're speaking a different language. I go, what's the point of fucking living and growing up in Germany if you're going to look like you're from Wisconsin?
Yeah, that's not good.
Stop it. You're not from suburban Wisconsin. Let them.
It's good to know this is a
Yeah.
global epidemic.
Oh, yeah. Well, what has it been? The Americanification, the gentrification, the Californication.
Yeah, I
Okay?
dream of Californication.
We all do. I got to take a break. Chris, when we come back, can you read me 3 lists? I want one to be from Reader's Digest.
That one I'm going to enjoy. I
I'd
think.
rather, seriously, the next time you want to do a list, it better be a hints from Heloise. Something that's at least a little helpful.
All right.
And I'm glad you caught Vito acting like he's so dressed up. You didn't need to say a word, Vito. You didn't have to say a word. But there's pictures of you. Let's put one on Twitter right now.
right,
Of these two idiots, the way they looked in Montreal, and then also the way that they looked in Austin.
Yeah, next to each other.
Neither one of you travels well.
You don't.
Where did I run into both you guys and I complained about the amount of sweating? We were up in Montreal.
Was it
on
when
the
we
corner.
met you for breakfast?
When we came outside, we were going to get breakfast, and we saw you on the corner.
Oh, that's when I said I would not have breakfast with you. I
Yes.
go, no, thank you.
Oh God.
I go, how can you be greasy first thing in the morning? Neither one of them did it dawn on to walk their fucking hair through that. Look at you.
There's on the way to Austin, shorts and some sort of a baseball
Joggers.
pants.
They're joggers. They're popular sweatpants. Under
Nobody
Armour.
runs in long pants, and those are baseball pants.
Joggers are insane looking.
And then socks
me.
and shower shoes. Not even just a regular flip flop, or as
You're
some
right.
call them thongs.
They're Adidas.
That's a shower shoe.
By the way,
that
which
you've
means
stuck a sock on your foot.
now he's walking around us in a place that he's walked through a public shower, which means that's no different than him going barefooted. Okay?
Disgusting.
I've never worn those in a shower. Those are just my casual walking. Adidas, which is a designer. Adidas.
That doesn't mean shit
That
to me,
doesn't
bro.
mean anything.
That-
BVDs are a designer. You fucking don't wear them into an airplane. That's underwear, son.
And I don't like taking my shoes off in the airport because I have a large foot.
Everyone does
It
it.
takes a while. I
You
don't.
still have to take those off.
You're going to tell me
But
the
it's just a
length
quick-
of your foot is going to be like that much more time? I like that you're like a half hour longer to slip off a shoe than me.
Size 16.
Doesn't mean anything.
means
you slip
everything.
them off. You could wear a loafer.
Yeah,
Stop
that's what
using
I
that
was
as an
thinking. A nice
excuse.
penny
Thank
loafer.
you.
Like you've had your entire life.
That doesn't flood.
Chris is on. Surprisingly, Chris is on our side.
Chris is against you, if you can believe it.
It happens.
This could be the breakup of Big Brothers.
You're dressed like garbage in the same picture.
I look great.
No, you both. And you got your.
Wow, the wireless
Your little teapot arm that you do.
The fact that you have a 1970s.
It looks good.
What do you call those suitcase?
Samsonite.
Samsonite.
I almost called it loose night. I know this could be right.
A nice 70s hard shell suitcase, like everyone has.
By the way, look how much fucking Vito's hair has grown since
Yeah.
we went to Austin.
Yeah,
That's
it's really.
amazingly a lot more. Chris looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
That could have been taken of Chris this morning coming into work. What's the next trip we want to do?
L.A.
Los Angeles?
City of Angels.
Hey, by the way, the New York Comedy Festival is going to be much bigger this year.
Oh, really?
And they've got a hotel hub.
Ooh, la di
yes.
da.
Big companies pushing it. Big names coming in.
Ooh, I like the sound of this.
Very interesting.
I like it.
Why don't we break here, Chrissy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, maybe that's a good catchphrase for you. He says
Yeah.
something and then you go, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right back, Benny. The Bennington is here.
You okay, dude?
No, something's wrong with the tape. It's not me. Chris, speed that back up. Too fast. Remember people used to, every comic would try to do that. I think Robin Williams was the first
Yeah.
to act like, and then every fucking hack stand-up started to do it. And that came out at the same time as the Jack Nicholson.
Where everyone did the same.
And everyone would like put their hand on their head and pull their hair back so they had a high fucking thing and put on a pair of glasses, act like they were chewing gum.
Yeah.
But one guy I saw put his hand on his head and he was a bald-headed dude. And he acted like he had ripped it off down to the back that he thought that Jack Nicholson was just a guy like a fucking little teapot who walked around with a hand on his fucking head. So that's what I'm saying, folks.
Yeah.
It's guy code. Right now is what we're doing. You got to protect your guy. Like Chris is always here for me.
Yeah.
And then in a girl code way, you
Girl
always got Jen
Yeah.
talking for you.
Me and Jen have very strict girl code.
Dude, I just got a great idea for a show. Dad code. The way dads have to be there for each other. Well, remember that thing last week with LeBron that they showed him in his kid's basketball game? And he was just yelling like a dumb parent.
Oh, no.
He was
was
yelling at the ref and the other team. And you just want to say,
Take it down a
LeBron,
notch.
there's no level of success that you and your son don't have. Your son never has to work.
Yeah.
Who cares whether he makes a layup or not?
It's not even important.
He's going to spend all of his life laying next to a beautiful swimming pool outside of Cleveland.
That's
Even
dad
in the
code.
winter. That's dad code.
Yeah.
Okay?
Dad's looking out for other
Yeah.
dads.
Like, we say we're going down to the workbench, but we keep a six-pack down there because we're alcoholics. Dad code. We cough when we fart. Dad code.
Chris Vito, get in there. Get some dad coat.
No.
No,
shit.
I forgot for a
Hey,
second.
this reminds me, Chris Stanley, you
Yes.
are in a very heated relationship right now with a South American.
Yes, I am.
And I
with
don't
the
want to
Central-
say
Central America.
Central American. I don't want to say what country because I don't want anyone stalking her right now.
Thank
know?
you. Thank you.
But it's Guatemala.
Shit.
He's with a Guatemalan. But, and this is, I'm crossing a line by asking this, but I actually was been curious about this for a while.
Yes.
With your last girlfriend, you raw dogged it.
Yeah.
I mean, no protection.
Mhm.
And then you actually came in her vagina. And you said you never got her pregnant.
Yeah.
No, I never did.
Are you still doing that with the Guatemalan girl?
I would say everyone there's contraceptives in place, just not with me. I'll
So
say that.
She
Is on the pill.
Is on the pill.
Yes.
But you are able to shoot freely
Now she
on the range.
right. That's girl code.
Yeah, that's some
understood.
girl code. You know what I mean, girl?
Now
Girl
she
code.
was already on the pill before she met you, right?
I believe. Yeah.
Because she was getting so much dick.
That's.
So much.
I mean, this chick
dick.
was like dick, 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 dick.
That was her texting. Tick, 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 tick. Here's the important thing, Chris.
Yes.
Finally, someone has taken it out of your
Yeah.
fucking hands.
Yeah.
But you believe that you're sterile.
Yeah.
And that's why you never got your last.
Or even some of the random Tinder women I hooked up with.
You're shooting in there too.
I was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bold.
I'm telling you.
Look at that face. I did not know that you did that.
Yes, I didn't feel good about it afterwards. I thought I worried.
Yeah.
But-
But then there was nothing to worry about because Stanley shoots blanks.
Exactly. Yeah, and I'm fine with that. I'm happy with that information.
Now,
Does your lady friend seem like she's the type of person who would want children in her future?
She's talked about possibly having a family.
Yeah,
Wow,
that's
does that
usually what
scare
it
you,
means.
or-
What do you think is fucking cats?
Not
That's-
really.
you don't mind raising immigrants? Illegal aliens? That's
They're
great.
Chris Stanley's children are taking our jobs.
This November, let Chris Stanley's children know that you're voting Republican. Now, first of all, there'll be no fucking cuter kid than a little Chris Stanley walking
I
around.
know. I mean, we've already seen half of the product.
Could you
as a child.
please promise us that you'll name that kid JoJo?
Jojo Stanley. It's pretty good.
Male or female, either way. Little JoJo.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's true. You can do
It's
both.
so cute.
But-
JoJo Stanley.
What is she waiting for? Now, the other thing, you've always believed that you were sterile, right?
Yes.
I've wondered this. Are there any other medical problems that you should look into because you're sterile? I mean, are you sterile because cancer has rotted out your nuts?
Oh
or
God,
Yeah.
no.
There could be a lot of
I
reasons.
never thought of that. I thought it was just naturally just the semen doesn't work.
Here's what I believe. After having you as a producer for as long as I've had,
Yes.
and now you are considered unofficially the executive producer
Yes.
of the Bennington Show. They won't give you the title, but you have all the
Why won't
responsibility.
they?
All I want.
Chris,
I'm not
I
fighting for that
believe
for you.
I won't. I believe that your sperm swims in the wrong direction.
Oh my God, they swim up in.
Yes.
Like up in through his abdomen, you think?
I believe, well, you ever notice, and Chris is always, I've known this for a while, his shit is white like a suburban dog's shit, right? And I believe,
Clay colored, really.
and I know that because he used to poop in my yard, and every day I'd go out to get my paper and he goes, oh, he's done it again. But it was white and dry like a
Yeah.
suburban dog. And I believe it was covered in his own cum.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It's shooting upward
yeah.
and
inward,
then
outward. He shoots it outward.
and then thus covering,
The
the
shit.
the feces.
Yeah, it goes into the intestines, encases the feces.
It definitely sounds like some sort of blockage you have.
Dude, I can't
Cum
believe you're gonna
blockage?
have. I can't believe you're gonna have a baby with
I'm not
this
having
chick.
a
This is
baby with
really
anyone.
exciting,
I'm
though.
She's
just-
having your baby, a little illegal alien.
All I want
baby.
is a Bennington show baby that we can bring in every day. Come here, baby. Right into the mic.
I know one thing. If he has a baby and brings it in here, I'm going to hit him like that little kid. I saw that
child.
I can remember. I like doing impressions of YouTube videos.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Oh, it's so horrible. I really can't tell you.
I haven't even seen it.
Don't look it up because I'm going to tell you the sound of a child with force smacking the face of an infant, a newborn baby.
Is it YouTube or is it like Live Leak?
I don't know,
like YouTube
dude.
would
It's somebody,
take that shit
look,
down.
some sick fuck shared it on Facebook. I didn't want to see it. It was like, when you scroll. So I see two little kids. I always stop I break for babies. You know what I mean?
That's
Like, I
sweet.
always
That's
stop
sweet.
for a baby video. And sometimes it'll be like a kid meeting his kid brother for the first time. It's going to be adorable. I didn't see this coming at all. And this kid fucking pulls his hand back and smacks it looks like hours old. And everyone screams.
It's like a fresh baby.
It's so disgusting because you never want to hear the sound of a baby's head hitting anything. Ugh. It was so horrible. I almost puked. I saw it and I was like, baby!
It's so funny Chris mentioned Live Leak too, because I almost brought in a thing the other day from Live Leak, which was a guy being mauled by a bear for what went on to like a half an hour. It was like a Filipino or something in a zoo. I'm like, this is great for the show. And I'm like, get ready to send it in. I'm like, and this is going on a while.
Oh my
It just wasn't stopping.
You're
and no one
watching
was helping
Faces
him.
of Death.
Yes, it was. It was. And then finally, I'm like, I think I can probably find some other funnier stuff. This might depress us.
I mean, it's not like a ha-ha kind of funny.
No.
It's like a thinker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You think about it and it's funny. I've had that situation where so many times where I watched something and I didn't think that it was going to take that kind of turn. Like, it started off as it seemingly was going to be a funny video, but it's one of those guys. It's not funny. It really isn't. I don't know why I just giggled there. But he's like in one of those hamster balls.
Oh, sweet. They're
You know what I
fun.
mean? Like those things.
Yeah.
And they like, he
Go down the hill
goes
and-
down the mountain.
Yeah.
And then he goes over the edge. And I was like, hold on 1 second. And I'm clicking around and I'm just like, does that what just happened? And then they're just like, unfortunately, he died.
Yeah.
And I was like, you start with a hamster wheel, a guy in a hamster wheel. And I think I'm going to see some light physical comedy here.
Yeah.
And I just watched a man die. And I did not sign up for this at all. It's like,
And then how quickly were you like, next? Oh, look, little baby being funny.
so cute.
That puppy loves that baby. She thinks it's her baby.
But yeah, that happens on the internet all the time where you're like, ooh, that's something I'll never forget. I didn't want to see that thing at all.
It's like Dave Winfield hitting that bird. Like at first you're like, oh, it's funny. The bird exploded. Hits him with a baseball, throwing
Right.
it in. You're like, that's funny. But then you're like, oh, that bird must have really hurt.
Exploded.
Actually, I shouldn't even compare it. A man died. And I'm bringing up a fucking lowly bird.
No. They're both bad.
No, it's me. I'm going through my own weird, not empathy
But
feeling.
it was like funny, like to have that moment of being like, he's falling down the mountain. And you're like, oh, there he goes. For real. Down a really big mountain.
But check where the fucking mountain goes before you get in the hamster wheel.
I know. It was
Hamster ball, excuse me.
really,
Hamster
really
wheel would have
disgusting.
been funny. But hamster ball sound.
Like hamster wheel gone off the course and it just keeps going down the mountain. Sure.
So, do we think Chris is going to be a good dad or an awful dad?
Who I think Chris, well, if he gets over his fear of being accused by his child of touching him, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds like he's not going to be around much. He's not going to be able to care for the child alone.
Will we love it too much? So much that the neighbors call.
I don't know. I have a hard time imagining. This is the aspect of Parenthood that is confusing for me for Chris.
No.
Imagining him communicating to his child like that.
For us.
Yeah, because I've seen I've certainly seen some circumstances where, let's say, a listener comes up and they're like, "Hey, Gail, it's so nice to meet you, Chris Daly. This is so cool," and he's just like, "Yeah, okay," and I'm like, "This is so awkward. We're meeting someone."
You're saying,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
and then
okay.
he'll do like some stuff that puts like walls up between them, where he's just like, "Yeah, man, let's go, bro," and, like the guy's was trying to like say, hey, I listen every day. It's a fun part of my day every time I get in my car. And he's just like, yeah, no, let's go, bro. And I'm like, just be a person and let him talk. So now I could imagine like a child approaching Chris to be like, Dad, how does this thing work? And I can't imagine what he would say in response.
I can see the baby going like this. What did you say? Oh, I thought you called me Bobby. So it's baby? Well, you're mumbling. So I can't get in the Bobby seat if that's what you're asking me to do. There's most people, before they become a father, no one can imagine them being a father. No one. Yeah. No one.
Well, I had this conversation with a friend of mine who was saying that there's a thing that happens, for women, that women are already mothers in a weird way. You have your potential children that do not exist. And somehow, in a woman's mind, you're already that mother. And then from the second that baby is conceived, you're like, I'm a mother right now. This is the moment. And you're, 9 months go by. The whole time you're a mom. A man is not a father until he has to look at a baby and be like, that looks like me. It's a tiny me. I don't want it to die. I guess I'm this thing's father. It doesn't happen in the theory, which makes what really difficult about men and women deciding to family plan together.
Yes, it's hard.
Because they're like, who's this potential kid we're talking about? Yes. Is he going to be cool? You know what I mean? Like, it's very hard. It's hard for them to figure out.
And there's always like even a little jealousy.
Right.
Where the father's like, you spend a lot of time with the baby, and I'm starting to feel like you don't even like me anymore. So I don't know what's going on here. Is it me? Am I not cute enough like the baby is?
Yeah.
But then what's always funny to me is father taking the baby out or the kid out, because like if a father's with a little kid, they'll always be like at a coffee shop and the baby will have like chocolate milk.
Right.
We'll never be like, hey, what do you want to do?
Right.
But you just take shit, you see the father reading the paper, like, this is great, isn't it? Hot coffee in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what they want to do. And you're like, if they come up with ideas, you're like, seriously, we got to think of something fun.
Yeah. I was at a party and I was speaking to two of my friends who are both about to be parents. And they were speaking, I spoke to them separately at this party, and both of their takes on just like, hey, this is exciting. You guys are looking forward to this. And she had said to me, like, I think the thing that I'm just so excited is just to find out what, like, true unconditional love is. Like, I know that it's about to happen, and I can feel it inside of me, and know that, like, I'm going to see this person, and it's just going to be, like, crazy. I'm like, oh, God, I can't imagine. That's so beautiful. And then later, speaking to her husband, and he's like, I don't know, like, fucking Mets games and shit. I don't know. It's going to be cool. I hope it's not a girl, because then I don't know if she'll be into that. And I'm like, I wish that you could have just heard what your wife just said to me about why she's excited for this journey. It's like the complete opposite. I don't know. Maybe they'll like the Mets. That would be cool. Like, hopefully.
I remember Dave saying like, well, my daughter's kind of mine, and then my son is kind of with my wife. Because she's funner and she knows what to do.
Right.
But when the kid got older, he started to be comfortable.
Sure.
When it's just a baby or even a toddler, it's not too good for a man to be with something that isn't fun.
Well, even like even an infant for anyone, I think, is like everyone's just waiting for it to get good.
Yeah,
you're just like right now. You're like you're just fascinating, but you're not good yet. Like, we can't wait till you just like start doing stuff like you smile. Even this, like, that's why that becomes like that obnoxious thing. Like, they like, people judge people for putting their kids' pictures up on Instagram all day long. It's like they spend all this time with this baby, just like, do something. Tell me that you're a thing and that you feel something back
This
for me.
is why I get jealous of other species. A dolphin, a deer, they come out ready to rock.
Yeah.
Where our babies come out and really don't seem like they're completely baked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They come out of the oven a little too soon. A baby should be born 18, 19 months to be fun.
Dude, this is this fascinating shit I heard about, and it proves this exact thing. Is that there's something that they call now like wonder weeks. So it's like a thing that happens in the development of the brain where they're like, okay, this many weeks in, your baby is like hatching. It's when they become aware of the world. Like, okay, I show you this pen and then I put it behind my back. at some point a baby goes, that pen still exists. But at first they're like, no more pen. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're still figuring out. Okay. So the wonder weeks almost go exact to the week for every fucking baby, right? It's almost exact for everyone when they hit these different stages of a development. But they start from the due date, not from the day that the baby was born, the day that they were meant to be born. So if your baby was premature, that they're uncooked. They're not ready mentally. You know what I mean? Like their life.
And if they're hanging in a little too long, it seems like they got to jump on stuff.
Exactly, because they are more so developed. And that includes just their brain function and their awareness. So that, when I found that out, I was like, that is the weirdest thing I've ever heard, is that like you can kind of get an uncooked baby or an overcooked baby. And that depends on how fast they will progress mentally in the world. Not from the second. You don't start there. Like mentally, they're still developing.
Right.
Even though they're outside of the womb. They're still not quite a human person like you or I.
I just have somebody I know that had a kid that's, I don't want to give I'll just say 3 months, but I think it is 3 months early.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pass that information along to her because the family is already very judgmental. No, but I am serious.
Yeah.
And but you know what they say when a baby is born, right? It doesn't see the difference between you and them and the sky. Like at first, it just thinks this is existence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is the way everything feels.
Right. Sound and visuals kind of wash over them in a, well, you know, like when like babies are really little and they have that like soft focus. And they're just like kind of like, they're just kind of like their heads kind of kicking
Chris
back in here. And you're just like, oh, you don't get any of this right now. And then one day, like their focus sharpens and they're like tracking things and being like, oh, that's going over there. That's really bizarre because you're right. Like a giraffe comes out and they're just walking around. You're like, that's just a tiny giraffe. That's just a tiny giraffe. It's just less big.
Yes.
And then we come out and we're not quite human beings yet. We're like these in-between zone, like still figuring out alien type creatures that are not done yet. That's so weird. That's so bizarre.
I just saw something the other night. I was watching a snake being born and they had this kind of gelatinous fucking egg that's so gross. But the mother has the egg and keeps on moving like she took a shit. Means nothing to her. And that baby is born a snake. There's nothing to learn to do. It just comes slithering out.
Right.
And it's just a smaller snake.
Like,
you know, it isn't even like a little bird, like, oh, how do I get food? It just starts going around fucking eating. Unbelievable. Snakes are way out ahead of us at first.
Yeah.
You know?
And then we really get the jump on them.
As soon as we learn how to use a hoe, just chop it in half.
You know, I saw a video a couple of days ago that was one of the more disgusting things I've ever seen. Because I'll watch a birth video of any animal, like usually doesn't creep me out. But this was a seahorse birth, and I had no fucking idea. So first of all, you know it's the male. The male gets the eggs implanted into him.
I thought they were hermaphrodites. I
thought that it was a male, but maybe you're right. But it's like that they take the eggs. They kind of keep them.
And they do the actual birthing.
And they're the ones who do the birthing. They are the birthers. And then the moment that it happens, there are so many seahorses that come shooting out. And it's weird because it is like ejaculation. That's what it looks like. He's kicking back and he's shooting, but they're little seahorses that look like little krill. And it's so gross. And I was like, I wish that I could find some beauty in what I'm seeing right now, but I like want to puke. It was so gross. And then they're everywhere. Like, I mean, it's millions. Like, they're just shooting millions of.
And then most of them die.
Most of them die. And
so it is like sperm.
So it is like sperm. Yeah. Which is so weird that their birth and like ejaculation is kind of the same thing.
Seahorse.
That's
hate them now.
Disgusting.
It's
First of all, you're
really
not,
gross.
You're not a horse at all.
What function does the seahorse even fucking?
Look how look at that face.
Yeah,
it's a fucking disgusting fucking alien face.
Nothing else looks like that, right? I mean, like, there's no other creature that you're like, that's kind of similar.
I guess horsey.
But like,
it does have the thing.
In the sea. Like, imagine there were just like giant ones of those in the sea. How weird that would be.
Ugh. You fucking disgusting
All right.
seahorse.
Oh, what the fuck?
There it comes. Oh my God, they're shooting out. They're swimming.
Oh.
He keeps going.
He even acts like he's coming not giving birth. He's like leaning back.
Oh, it's so vile.
Weird.
And then they're
Jesus.
going everywhere, and they're just tiny seahorses. But it's so
not stopping.
it's not stopping. He's
And he
continuing.
has he has no interest in them either, right?
No, I don't think he's gonna.
He's done with them after he
He has
jizzed them out.
nothing. He has nothing to teach these kids. Nothing.
I hate a fucking jizzy seahorse.
It's so gross.
All right, that's up on the eye bag now, the jizzy seahorse. Ugh, disgusting.
So vile.
1,800 babies he just shot out. He
Did you count them? That would be amazing.
Fucking genius, dude.
Or is it autism?
You know,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
fucking seahorses, you know who they're most like? The Kennedys. Just a never-ending amount of babies. But they are our beautiful democratic royal family.
They are. I think they're like kind of the definitive for politics. Like, they're our royal family.
Well, the Clintons almost blew by him by getting 2 presidents, and the Bushes.
Yeah.
Although people aren't as interested in the Bushes as they were the Kennedys, people were fascinated with the Kennedys.
I am still fascinated by the Kennedys. There's something about that family. I can't. I'm always interested in like anything that has to do with them. I'm like, this is a Kennedy situation. Let's see what's going on.
I grew up with these books that my parents had bought, and a lot of it had to do with. They were like Time Life books. There were pictures, there's tons of pictures with little captions, and it was all about John Kennedy, John, Bob. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was post him dying. So like I had read all of the. It's like kind of how I learned how to read, just reading about the funeral and growing up with this murder of our American president. And then like I'd say it was about 10 years ago. I'm on the Upper East Side. I'm walking, having a cigar. No one on the street. And coming at me, it's Caroline Kennedy. And I was just like, this is the craziest thing I've ever. I go like this. Dude, I got all your books. They're fucking great. Like when your dad died, unbelievable show. But I grew up with like pictures of Jack Kennedy and Bobby Kennedy and Jesus on my wall. That's what was in the dining room.
Exactly.
The Kennedys and Jesus. So there's no way I can look at the Kennedys normal. And I'm a believer that democracy is the way to go. But if somebody's a Kennedy, they're probably going to get my vote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that family.
Bobby Kennedy's like a patron saint in my house. Still, yeah.
I remember when Bobby Kennedy died, my mom woke me up. She was crying. And she said, Bobby was killed last night. And my brother's name is Bobby. And I'm waking up like, what the fuck? Oh, Bobby Kennedy. Okay, that's even worse. But no, that's how it. That was like a, and that was when I was very young. Like I said, I don't remember Jack dying, but I remember Bobby dying, and the train went through Chester where I live, and everybody had lined the tracks, and they were singing Hallelujah. Nobody had set that up. We didn't have social media.
Yeah.
They just loved this guy.
The documentary about that train ride the way people gathered outside. I mean, it gives me chills.
Without social media, I don't know how the fuck people know.
It's really weird that people decided to show up.
And he had 11 kids. That woman was left with 11 children with her husband. And they were all like of my generations. So they went buck shit wild, getting fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so then all through my time, you would see pictures of like John in a fist fight in a Manhattan club, and the fucking Kennedy, Bobby's kids would be going off to rehab or wherever they went. Teddy's crazy fucking kids losing a leg. Oh, that's just cancer. You can't blame that on him.
I mean, he was.
But that was
wild.
like he lost a leg. I think that was it.
Well, I mean, even remember it was like a week or two ago. I was like saying. I was watching Joe Kennedy the third, and just being like, oh, it's our future president right there. And I'm like, there's, you love a democracy, but for some reason, seeing a young Kennedy, a little ginger Kennedy, speaking with just like passion and I'm like, oh, he looks like a Kennedy, he feels like a Kennedy. I'm like, oh, this is our guy. Just not, you know what I mean? Just based on him,
because it's in your DNA somewhere.
Charisma and
when I read the Steve Bannon book, he grew up a fan of the Kennedys because he was an Irish Catholic family. You know what I mean?
Right.
You just did. You know what I mean? I'm sure that we're going to find out years from now. Well, some people have expressed it, but I don't think the people have completely grown up of what it was like for them to have Obama, black kids.
Of course,
you know what I mean? Like, we kind of know it, but the people that it really affected weirdly, wasn't so much of the people who intellectually went, hey, I think you could do a good job of it. Just little kids like us who thought, when we were little, thought there's something magic about this.
100%. And you're right. You will not feel what happened in that wake until years after.
Years and years later. Well, we have this, for a family that believes for a country that believes in democracy, we've always had royalty in, business.
Yeah.
The Trumps are kind of a royal business family, but before them, the Rockefellers, the Gettys.
And I'll keep them as a royal family of business, despite the fact that they're in the White House right now, just because I feel like I don't think that this is going to set, and I could be wrong, in motion them staying in politics after he's done. I think that they're going to stay together and do whatever it is that they're going to do, but I still find them to be like a royal family of business.
I'm going to tell you right now, politically, they can turn a corner.
Mm-hmm.
People don't believe it, but they can turn a corner. And two, they might get addicted to this fucking thing of politics that happens to people. I mean, it's insane that the Clintons went back into that. And people bring up Chelsea's name. There's other Bushes that people think.
Yeah.
Like George Bush's mom, Barbara Bush. She did not want her son to do that. She had just been through this with her husband.
Yeah.
She was like, please, you're not, let your brother do it. He's smarter than you. He's better. You know what I mean? You're a fucking party dude. She just didn't want it.
Yeah.
But if John Kennedy Jr. didn't die, he probably was going to run for some office.
Yeah.
And there's no way. Let's suppose now he'd still be in his mid to late 50s. He'd be the front runner for the Democratic ticket if he had never run. I mean, he might have kept Obama from getting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even now, he would be very young enough to be a fairly young president compared to Donald Trump.
Now, what do you think is the reasoning that we feel comfortable with those sort of things? Is it that we're like, that person grew up in that environment and therefore, or do you think it's more genetics? Like we actually believe that there are traits to these different families, like the way, maybe people on the right feel about the Bushes versus maybe people on the left have felt about the Kennedys?
It's, first of all, brand name helps a lot.
Yeah.
Right? So let's go.
The Kennedy package.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
very aware.
Let's take it out right now and just, with the Fondas with acting.
Yeah.
That went on for, generations. People are very comfortable with Fondas as their movie stars. We've had musical families. The Jackson family got to do all kind of stuff. Some of that had to do with their dad was insane.
Right.
And wanted the kids to practice. But the other thing is like, okay, we know Michael. Oh, remember his little sister Janet? Now she's got something.
Right.
We didn't accept Randy, but there were other people in the family that we did accept.
Jermaine.
Jermaine, we loved.
I love Jermaine.
Yeah.
He's he's my second favorite Jackson.
Which
I think is like kind of your first, because like number one is like baby Michael, obviously. It's like you can't really not love it. But then I gotta go Jermaine. I fucking love Jermaine Jackson.
I'm a Tito guy for my own reasons.
Team Tito?
Let's see if we can even, in sports, it's the Mannings. Now, if the Mannings
100%.
have, they've got kids.
Yeah.
We'll all be waiting for the next one to be a quarterback.
I mean, they even talk about the Cooper, like, oh, he was the best one. People bring up that all the time.
Well, you know, the Kennedys had that too. There was young Joe the Forgotten Kennedy who was killed. They said that he would have been president, not Jack Kennedy.
Really?
Yeah, he was killed in World War II.
Yeah.
So he was the one that the dad was saying from a little age, you're going to be president. Go join World War II. You get into it. Jack's the partier. Let him. He's the pretty partier. He's not as serious as you, but he'll be helping you places. And then when young Joe, the Forgotten Kennedy, that was the name of the TV movie, when he died, all the attention to Jack turned to Jack. He grew up.
Wow,
He got-
yeah.
I mean, one of the reasons he's probably a womanizer is he didn't want to get married. You know what I mean? But that was going to be good for his, you know, presidential brand.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's also the jealousy factor in there. Like, Joe was kind of jealous of Jack because Jack had become a war hero before him. And then, so basically Joe went on this crazy suicide mission and died on it.
Well, a lot of guys, you know, were like, I have to not just be in World War II, I have to be a World War II hero.
Yeah.
So I can carry that back. And yeah, his plane was filled with explosives. But I don't know if any of those boys were jealous of each other. I mean, they stuck together like fucking, you know, like a pack of fucking mix on the edge of town that would all come at you at the same time. You know what I mean?
Kennedys are coming.
Yeah, and they're just fucking kicking you, pulling your hair and shit. You're like, they're fucking animals. You're like, but, you know, I admire the fact that they stick together. Nice to see a family doing
strong
things.
family
But
union.
if you look at the Trump children, I never see any jealousy there. I see them kids on the same side.
What about a brotherly competition? Like, you know, like how they're competitive between brothers.
But what are you talking about, the Kennedys?
Yeah, and the Trumps actually as well.
I don't see it in the Trumps. I mean, I don't know, you know, and I've never, you know, Jack had Bobby working for him. Teddy, you know, was one of the most powerful senators we've ever had in this country. If he could have driven a little better, he might have been president.
Yeah.
He came very close to being president. Timing and his own alcoholism wasn't on his side, but there was just as many people at one point that would have said, oh yeah, we're ready. We never got to finish the Kennedy thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's people that say that those brothers were competitive with each other, but you look at a lot of brothers, they tend to support each other, you know? The Allman brothers, Greg, the leader died. And what was Greg Allman when he died? His 70s? And he was still talking about a 27, 28-year-old man his whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was still like my brother, every day of his life. It was still his big brother, even though he had gotten 40 years older than him.
Right.
You know what I mean? He still looked up to him. So, now in radio, it's the Bennington family. Everybody's always the only father-daughter show in history. I'm very competitive with Gail. I just feel like she gets all the accolades. I don't get shit. First of all, you're the only one Vito and Jenna listen to.
But it's a trickle down of power. You know what I mean? You have my ear, and then I'm the mouthpiece for you.
Yeah, but Chris will only listen to me.
100%.
Yeah.
It's totally broken up into teams.
And Justin does not speak English. I'm always pointing at stuff and comparing it to animals.
But I don't know what it means. But yeah, I think with Chris, it's always a situation where it was like Joe would, fucking Vito and Jen will be like, say something like, oh yeah, totally. If I bring something up, and Chris is like, that's not how Ron likes to do it. Check with Ron first.
First of all, I
all
like
right.
that, Chris. I wish everybody would say that. You too, Vito. But let me say, out of everyone here, right?
Yeah.
Who's most likely, and this stays in this, there will be nothing mad about this. Which person would be more likely to keep a secret from me? Out of the whole staff.
The whole staff.
If something happened and they were like, oh, Ron would be, you know, pissed or whatever if he heard this, who's more likely to come to me with the truth or who's more likely to hold a secret? You can each say it if Gail looks like she's punking out.
No. Oh, you want me to say first?
Yeah.
I think most likely would be, I'm going to say Jen. Because Jen would say, like, is this something that I should tell Ron or not tell Ron?
Fucking Jen. Huh? Okay. Glad you told me that. Glad I found out. She's disloyal. And who's most likely to come to me first?
Probably me.
Really?
I would come to you first. Probably. Yeah.
I wonder about that since you never did in your personal life. Jen, what do you think?
I think Chris. No. To hold it, I would say Vito, and then to
I figured.
and
Is it
then to
mushrooms?
tell you, Chris.
Vito?
Well, I'm going to say Jen now because
That's not the way I like to
No,
work. I
we
want
don't do
truth.
that.
I want fucking truth to power.
I don't think it would be me.
What?
But I don't think I would be like the one to like hold things from everybody.
Yeah.
I'm always running around with gossip for everybody. Left and
No,
right.
outside gossip, but you never bring bad news to me. Never do. If I was to say anything about this team, no one brings bad news to me. Not one person.
I feel like Chris is always ringing that bell, though. Chris is always like,
I will
I've,
bring bad. I've given you plenty of bad news. Anytime I
Yeah.
call you, it's bad news.
Can I tell you
Chris always
something?
go like
Yes.
this.
I
Here's
wish
this-
that wouldn't be because that makes me hate your calls now.
I know.
And
But Chris is always the first person to be like, here's this shit sandwich that we have just been dealt. I'm going to be the one to serve it.
no, but Chris will bring me that news too late. That's the problem with the Chris news. That he's failed at everything before it gets to me. And there's nothing I can do about it. And who is most likely to come to me with the truth, Vito?
I'm going to say Gail because Chris sometimes I think would be afraid of the truth and Gail doesn't mind saying what actually just went down.
Chris, very quickly.
Vito is the one who holds things back. I'm the one who gives you fucking bad news. And if I give it you bad news too late, it's because I try to fix it before the bad news fucking, comes down. And I usually fail at it. I usually fail at it.
I'm just going to let you pick.
No, you're going to be the definitive outside source here.
I think Chris is definitely going to give the bad news no matter what. And to hold, I think I'm going to go wild card Jen.
I don't mind.
Alright.
I mean, I'm a little, if someone tells me something and says don't say, I will not say. I'm a good secret keeper.
Yeah.
So wait,
That's how I
people
see
are
it.
asking you to tell secrets
And I'm just
against me?
saying in general.
No, let's just be specific here. I don't care what you do the rest of the world. And it's good not to. I mean, I'm not a person who shares secrets.
Yeah.
If anybody comes to me, like when Vito came to me with his stuff that happened with him and his mom, that they were kissing and it went too far.
Oh my God.
I didn't say anything.
I didn't
to
know
anybody.
any of this.
That's because I keep it.
family.
That's because
Oh,
I
that's
can be
good.
trusted. Yeah, I keep it in the family. Yeah. Vito normally tells me gossip about fucking Big Brother.
Right. He comes to you first with that stuff.
Joker's ranks Kevin.
Joker, fucking Kevin has dropped like a rock since you showed me that.
And you know who's number one?
Mm-hmm.
Jess.
Jessica is America's favorite.
I can't believe
Number
it.
2, Cody. Number 3, Mark. Number 4, Kevin.
God, Mark's the worst.
How's Kevin not number one across the board? That's
He
what
was
I
for
don't
most
understand.
of
He
the
was
season.
for a long time, and now he has lost it to the geeks.
Yeah, I think it's just because people want to see Jess and Cody have a comeback. They just want to see drama.
I'm not interested in it. I'm interested in Kevin taking over this fucking house.
I don't know if I don't even know if he wants it. I
That's
can't
what
tell.
I like about it.
Yeah.
That's why I want him to have
I think
it.
he's
because
just happy to be getting 3 squares a day.
He got 25 grand already, so I mean, he's fucking doing well right now.
That's not a good summer, dude. I don't know how to tell you this, but for a grown man like he is,
Yeah.
25 grand for the summer, probably not enough to feed 7 kids.
25 grand plus that little stipend they get.
Do they get a
Look, after taxes, he's looking like 13 grand.
What? No, don't
He's
say
always
that.
got to figure the taxes in.
Wait,
Come on,
what,
let's be
he does.
realistic about this guy's fucking money.
what about the $27 you won in that veto temptation?
All right, so this is why people aren't listening to Big Brothers.
All right, Les.
We
Les
can't
stipend
get you to
talk.
focus.
One of many reasons people
Yeah.
are
No.
listening to
Well, we
it.
can't get you to be in and actually talk about it, even when we give you the opportunity. I guess that's why you keep things from me.
I don't-
That's why he does it, Ron.
The votes fell. I was not the number one vote getter for that.
Because they're trying to protect you now, but we all know who it was.
It's not me.
I know it was you, Vito, and you broke my heart. There's Alaska Thunderfuck right there. Just walking
I
by.
think so.
Yeah, I don't think that's her. Hmm.
That seems like a cisgendered female. What? What?
We got to get that tape. So, is there any other royal families
Well, you know,
Baldwins? You would consider that because they're
fell from
two
grace.
kids now
Relax,
too.
dude. You're panicking. Just relax. They made a run at being a royal family, but everybody hit the wall but Alex.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And the problem was Alex stopped being a movie star and started being a TV and game show star.
Right.
You know what I mean? You drop way down.
What about the Coppola family and those who marry into the Coppola
Yes,
family?
they
and
were a
thus forth?
wonderful filmmaking family. That's a very good call. And the Baldwins, like I said, they did make a run. There's no doubt about it. And
Yeah.
every one of them got to do something. And now none of them are doing anything but Alec. And, you know, his career was hotter than it is now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why that was the chosen one when you see something like Biodome, my favorite movie, which I fucking love.
I'm telling you, look at young Alec Baldwin, and he was beautiful.
Yeah, he was really.
breathtakingly beautiful.
He was.
And I like
Super
Stevie.
pretty.
Stevie got into politics, and so did Alec, and that pisses off half the people.
Yeah.
The other brother was drunk and I think was bothering Annie Letterman one day. And did you just say, ooh? Ooh.
He's good looking.
His daughter is also now like a famous model. She hangs out with the Jenners.
I don't know if I know what she looks like.
Haley Baldwin.
Did
She was
date-
the piggy. Remember when he yelled piggy at her? You're a
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
selfish piggy.
It was horrible.
She grew up to be
It
a
was
beautiful
really-
girl.
She's really-
She ended up not being a piggy at all.
Yeah. He has egg on his face after
Yeah.
this.
He looks like the nut.
Yeah.
He also says that he has to hear about that every day of his life.
Well,
But also,
what a
her mom
beauty.
is one of the most beautiful women
Yeah,
of all time.
she's so stunning.
Did she date Bieber? Is
Yeah.
that that
Oh,
one?
she was one of the Bieber dates.
yeah.
He's done well for himself.
Oh, Bieber.
Jeez, look
Yeah,
at her.
she's unbelievable.
Oh my
Quite attractive.
god. She is a pretty person.
All right, put up a picture of her mom when she was young. Because her mom was
Yeah.
stopping clocks.
Yeah.
What? Why would you
Can't-
find that just got
That
out
was
of
the
bed?
first. I just went
Really
as fast
weird.
as
What
possible.
What do we got to do to get you to turn on this fucking screen the way Sam does every day for everybody?
Yeah. We want to see Kim Basinger or Basinger, however you want to say
I
it.
say Basinger.
Bas-
Am I saying it the wrong way?
I've heard people say both, so I
Yes.
just call
Sometimes when I mean I
her
say
Kimmy B.
Sometimes when I mean I say Basingstein to act like she's really Jewish and doesn't want anybody to know. Stunning woman.
Yeah, she's insane.
Stunning
Like,
woman.
That's
so
ridiculous.
pretty.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane.
It doesn't even make sense. Like she's not even like a
No, she's
human.
not a human being. She's
Yeah.
like a beautiful alien angel. Like an angel came from Angel Planet,
Some sort of
landed here.
angel alien sex bot.
She's my angel from Harlem, I like to say, the way Bono sang many, many years ago. Okay, that just. But see, the fact that they broke up, that kind of ruins
That
the royal
hurts.
family. Yeah, that
Yeah.
hurts. By
You
the
do
way,
need to
Stevie
say-
Baldwin married to a beautiful Brazilian girl. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I remember who's the other? We didn't mention, not Danny. Yeah, it's Danny Baldwin.
Yeah, Danny is the other
Oh, he was the nutty one. But then there's another
Billy.
Billy.
brother.
Stevie.
Billy
Yeah.
married into a kind of a royal pop family. He married the John Phillips's kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Find out who her parents. She's a mama and papa because she was in the pop group Wilson Phillips.
Oh, I did
She's the
not
Phillips from Wilson Phillips.
realize.
Yeah.
China
Phillips.
Phillips.
Yeah.
I did not realize they were
Stunning.
together. Yeah. Yeah, that's two.
So she's the half sister of Mackenzie and Bijou Phillips.
So those are two royal families.
Two
becoming
royal
one.
families, yeah. Became one. Two hearts beat as one is the way that they said it at the wedding.
And
Stevie
that's-
finds Stevie's wife. Gorgeous.
And that's really like the important thing is when you want your royal family to marry into another royal family.
That's
Absolutely.
actually Haley's dad and mom. So Ireland, Ireland's the child of Alec.
Oh,
and,
okay.
All right,
like
the
they-
Baldwins are royal family.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's stop even fucking debating this.
Got it.
There's two beautiful models from two brothers.
Yeah.
No wonder.
Because
everything
I
worked
remember
out.
Haley is like half Spanish. Like the mom is.
Yeah, she's like, I think, South American, right?
Yeah, I think.
I remember
Gotcha.
they met on a crosstown bus in New York. I'm not even making that up. He met her on a crosstown bus.
What?
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, you're beautiful.
Yeah, and I'm a Baldwin.
I'm a Baldwin. Let's make this happen. This is crazy not to. But that just like real royal families. Like that's what they
Yes.
do. You're like, we're going to send you down to Spain. We really want to keep this going real good. Because there are different rules for the princesses
Do I ever?
that like if you were a former commoner
Mhm.
and become princess, like a Kate Middleton type, or the People's Princess Di, you have a lesser status than somebody who's like, she came from another royal family, then she came to our royal family. So there's like rules, like you can't arrive at the parties before, like those families get first dibs because she's always been a princess once and always. These other ones, you're like, yeah, you're a princess now, but you're like new money princess. Like, so
But,
they still have, rules.
Princess Di was already Lady Di first and
Right.
had even more royal blood
Oh, that's
than
right.
Charles.
Yeah.
So that's why he was forced to her when he really wanted the Camilla Parker Bowles or whoever she
Right.
is.
That's
That
what
was
it
the love of his life. But his family was like, no, this fucking chick. Perfect for what we're trying to do.
But Kate Middleton is one of those where she was like a commoner turned princess, and she's got to follow kind of a little downstep rules of other princesses because she's like not as of high status.
But they literally
Because of her
decide,
bloodline.
hey, let's not put this kid what we did with his mom. Let's
Right.
make sure,
100%.
like, let's ease back a little bit because the heart wins these days. In the old days, people would be like, my heart longs, but I can do nothing.
Yeah.
Not now. People are like, look, I'll meet you at fucking 7:30. All right? No, don't worry. I'm keeping a separate phone. Okay? Nobody even knows I own this phone but me.
And my God, did the world embrace that Kate Middleton.
Loved
They
it.
were just like, we need a Kate Middleton. We need a beautiful.
Right. And they embraced her sister's ass.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pippa.
I'm really rooting for the new girl, from Meghan Markle, who's dating Prince Harry. Or
Who's
Prince
like Harry?
She's on a show called Suits that I watch, so I've known her for like 6 years now. And I'm like,
known
really,
her, have you?
I've known of her for 6 years. She was a model on Deal or No Deal at one point, but she's just an American actress that's living the high life.
Sorry.
And I want her to get married so badly.
That is not a princess's outfit. I mean, that is quite
Yeah.
revealing.
I like Harry's
And I got
taste.
news. I got news for you. Harry ain't marrying nobody. He's fucking batshit fucking crazy,
Yeah.
and the whole family knows it.
I just wish
They
he'd be
love
king.
him,
Yeah.
but they ain't. They'll leave Dudley Moore fucking to run things before
Yeah,
him.
he's wild, man.
Yeah, he's
the two.
fucking Arthur.
Yeah. For sure.
I'm just really hoping this works out for these two kids.
You must have no life of your own. The way that you
I
always
know.
think about
What
wrestlers
happens?
and reality stars and all that. Shit.
Well, no, she's from the show Suits. It's a scripted drama on the USA Network.
You just said that you used to fucking open up suitcases on a fucking game show.
Well, before Suits, before I knew her on Suits, that's what she did. But look at her; she's beautiful, and I'm hoping they work out. She's gorgeous.
Everyone's beautiful
That's
from that
not
angle.
Queenish. No one is supposed to jerk
She
off looking at a
has
queen's ass.
A princess's butthole, if I've ever seen one.
Oh, that's pronounced bunghole. Yeah. We use that. All right, do we got a break here, Christopher?
Got a break.
We got a break. We're right back. It's the Bennington Show. Bennington Show. Chris, tomorrow or Friday we're playing what? Comedy 101 or what?
We're playing Joe Coy Unmasked.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
already Friday.
Yeah, Friday we will be playing Joe Coy.
Joe Coy
I didn't
Unmasked.
know that. Well, you guys are going to love that. And he saw the band around Vito's head and he goes, is he making fun of Filipino people?
Oh my God,
I go-
it's so uncomfortable.
And I said to Joe, I believe he is.
Yes, he is.
This has nothing to do with Filipino people at all.
Well, they started that look. The look that you've taken for yourself.
With what?
That's cultural appropriation,
I'm
I
not-
think.
It's disgusting. It
Is
is.
cultural appropriation good or bad?
Apparently not good.
I didn't know that because I thought the whole entire meaning of the United States of America was appropriating other cultures.
Yeah, I thought- Like it's a small world after all. I thought we all enjoyed this, the native dress of each.
But remember, in Small World, they stood apart.
Right, they
There was
represented.
no mixing.
Right.
Some of the small worlds did not want the other small worlds sleeping with their children.
Like, we recognize you and your culture. Just keep it out of my house.
I know when my dad was younger, in their neighborhood, they were kind of prejudiced against Hungarians. And I don't even think that
So
sits as a
specific.
regular thing. And my dad would say, like, if, I was sloppy or lazy or whatever, he'd say, you're acting like a hunky. And I'd go, I don't even know what you're talking about. And he goes, like the Hungarians. Like, I don't know any.
Yeah, that's
They
not...
have assimilated so far that there's not a hunky stereotype.
Hunky was the slur?
I would say, yeah, those seem like white people to me.
They were. They kind of just slipped into white people.
But like, I always like that when people have the specific prejudice that doesn't mean anything outside of their social group, like the way it's like Turkey and Armenians.
They hate each other,
and they have this just incredibly horrible history together, and they despise one another. And we're like, oh yeah, I can't really tell what between the guys, but you guys seem to really have problems with each other.
Yeah, you don't get along with each other, and then you try to, spread it around. I mean, you called me an Armenian lawn jockey. It means nothing. Right. I don't know where the insult. By the way, kids, nice cookies in here. If
they're
wants...
so good. If you want to send someone in,
Norris brought them by,
and they're so delicious.
I pitched Norris, so maybe we do an update of the halls.
I would love that.
Yeah,
she's such a beauty.
She's a beauty, and she's also. I want to say this properly because I go, oh, you were like a girl woman when you worked here. Now you're like a woman.
Grown-ass woman.
Yeah, because she's lost her baby fat. She just has.
Yeah, she's very beautiful. And I do want to ask her more, you know what I mean? But I note beauty.
I'm very confused. What do you mean?
Ask her more is like the joke about like, oh, like people say, ask her more. Don't just say, where'd you get your dress? Or how do you
I
get
didn't know about this.
Yeah, that was like what they were saying during the Oscars. Remember, it was like a hashtag, ask her more.
Here's what I want you to understand. Chris and I pick up on nothing.
Yeah, I know.
We're really dense.
Throwing it out there. You guys are
never
dropping
know.
it.
It was a hashtag.
We just didn't know,
I think Chris actually turned to you and like gave you the like, what the fuck is this bitch talking about?
Yeah.
Chris, ask her more.
I didn't know about it. So the thing is, we don't say enough to women. Pretty women, we treat well. Did you put that thing up today? Did it go up on the iBang about your opposite job?
Yes.
So the opposite job is a way of. I noticed that there was two sides of it. One is like you're visually something.
Right.
The other is you're more thoughtful or auditory.
Right.
Why can't you be both?
Yeah, so if you go in for this website, it's kind of like taking all the characteristics of what makes someone good at that job, and then they're going to tell you what the opposite of your career is.
So, Chris, the opposite of your career, and Vito's, if you're a radio, they have it, the closest to what we do, they would say radio announcer.
Yeah.
The closest to, the opposite of us is model. And
I thought that was hurtful when I looked that up.
They're shaming
I was like, look, that's, you don't need to say that. The farthest thing from you is someone who is visually pleasing to the eye. Hey!
What the fuck?
Now, I went in and checked, though. There's a lot of things that says that their opposite is model. But the smart thing to do is put in model and see what the opposite of that is.
Right, because that would be like the actual true.
So
it's not going to be radio personality.
The opposite
of model
is a physicist.
A physicist.
So I immediately went to that. And then that is more hurtful than, hey, you work in radio, you're the opposite of a model.
Right.
Because they're saying to models, someone who uses their brain to help others, not just show off their tight tummies and their vag mound.
But I would like to take this as a compliment and just think that means I am closer to physicist. So I'm very clever. That's the way I'm going to go ahead and take that.
I find odd that the skills that the model uses are trunk strength and gross body coordination.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is funny about that
in the trunk.
What's a trunk?
Racist. Your trunk, your kind of abdomen.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
The trunk of your body. By the way, Chris, you never bring it up, but tomorrow we're announcing street jokes.
Street jokes. Well, there will be a date in time for Street Jokes tomorrow.
This is our live version of Street Jokes. And we're trying to tweak it this time to make it even more fun for you, the enjoyable audience member. Why? Love.
Pure
Absolute love.
So we will announce it tomorrow, the date. And are we going to announce who is a part of it or no? We're going to save that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, no one fucking Chris. You know what I mean? He doesn't have a very strong trunk.
Oh, God,
I know.
no.
It's not an
It's
attack
not
on you, Chris.
Okay.
Not a job requirement.
I'm feeling trunk shamed right now.
The opposite of Chris is a model and a physicist.
I mean, when you look at that shabby trunk of his,
Oh, it's terrible.
I mean, that needs improvement on the trunk area.
Rob in Fire Island has a question. What is it, Rob?
Fire Island.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the opposite of Chris's job be an actual radio producer?
That's funny.
Oh, snap.
I would go so far as to say the opposite of Chris's job is a human.
I'm working on it. One day, maybe society will accept me.
Street jokes doesn't come in a jar.
Street jokes comes from who you are.
Try to do something with that,
Yeah.
Chris.
Okay.
Make it into a great fucking promo. Okay?
Got
Now,
it.
what do you think he's writing down right now? He wrote a note for himself, but I don't think he knows the song.
He's
you're
writing
singing.
down, don't make eye contact with Rob. You motherfucker. By the way, I'm not kidding when I say this. When Joe Coy saw me, the hug went on for 18 or 19 minutes.
It was just a warm embrace, it seemed like.
I was saying, this is too long of a hug, Joe. I'm not comfortable.
We need to leave it all out on the stage here, Joe.
I
Can't
saw
get
the,
all this love done right here.
I saw the hug after. It was longer than that hug.
Way longer.
Wow.
Yeah. And the before hug was done in the green room, and his people just tried to act like they weren't noticing it.
They turned away. They just started looking at their phones, like when you're in an elevator.
Scrolling through Instagram.
Oh man, this morning we were in the elevator and this guy had backed onto the elevator and Chris was on with me. So Chris is standing in the corner and the guy is like kind of backing in so his friends could have, and he went full butt to Chris's crotch.
Nice, Chris.
And then was trying to move around, like I don't know which way to go, and he was grinding his butt against Chris's crotch, and I've never had a happier elevator ride.
Oh,
I was
neither is Chris.
so happy.
It was a full-on grind.
By the way, where are these cookies from? Kids, come get cookies for yourself.
What does it say? Cute culture, something like that.
Cutlery? I think it says cutlery.
Cutlery, really?
I'd open a cookie store named Cutlery.
I think that says culture. I can't imagine you would just call something. You don't even use cutlery for a cookie, so that doesn't make sense. But they're fantastic.
I don't know why the interns don't want any. That's strange.
What are you talking about?
They're coming in for them.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna
Bring
bring
'em.
some.
Yeah, bring them out.
Spencer had to run out the booth for a second. He lost his building ID, and he's
Oh boy.
really nervous about it.
Well, tell him to take it well. He's good that way.
You got it. We're good.
Good. I was worried about that.
Tell him to use the building ID to slice up the cookie into like nice little pieces for himself. Anyway, that thing, if you want to find out your opposite, up on the iBank today. Quite,
Chris, tell me like another opposite, like a random one. So
Okay.
like have another example.
I'll do a cop.
Okay.
criminal,
Would hope so.
Jewel thief.
drug dealer.
All right, that opposite is agricultural grader.
Oh,
I don't know.
Again, they need trunk strength. This seems like the fucking mostly what
So
people
they
need
must
in
be
life.
just thinking legal jobs.
yeah, I guess. See, what's the opposite of a priestess? 'Cause every cop is a criminal and all the sinners saints.
Yeah.
They don't have priests as a job in here.
Well,
Pastor.
put a
Clergy.
clergy. That's a good one. Yeah.
All right, clergy. Car washer. The opposite of a clergy is a car washer.
Well, instead of taking care of souls, you take care of fucking car
Makes
mats.
sense.
It does make sense. This thing is great.
And I like it because if you're unhappy with your job, you can just go, what should I be doing completely different? You're like, car washer, huh? I could live with that life.
It is fun because you get to spray those big things on each other. You're like, ow, that hurts my skin. And they're like, come on, man, I was fooling around. Stop getting mad for real. We were having fun.
Dude, I love a car wash the same way that I did when I was a little kid. It's still
You like
fun.
going through it?
I love going through it. And I pulled up to a car wash before, and they're like, okay, you can get out. And you're like, oh, this isn't one that I can ride in? I wish I hadn't chose this one. This is horrible.
I wanted to get blown in here like when I was younger.
And then, like, it comes by and all, like, stuff, and you're just going, whoa!
Look at
oh,
it.
shit!
The brief time when my parents had a car, I fucking love the car wash.
Why do you got to bring up the brief time? Why do you got to
Yeah.
sound different from every other American?
I know. And also, like, you have to make it sad. Like, you could have made it a
I
nice
know.
story from your childhood, and you're like, then it was impounded.
Can I tell you what?
Stolen.
Joe Coy's life was just as hard as you, and he made something out of himself. And he stays positive. I thought, oh, Chris had such negative upbringing, so he has a way of dealing negatively with everything.
Maybe Joe Coy is your opposite job. Just being Joe Coy, a huge success.
I went like this. I introduced him. I go, Joe Coy, this is no joy. So I gotta tell a Fez story because this is very funny to me. So Fez writes to me, don't know if you watched Hard Knocks or not, but boy did Gruden come off as sad and lonely. So Hard Knocks is Tampa this year.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know whether you, guys, do you watch Hard Knocks every year?
Yeah, I've watched.
It makes football look like a sad and awful business. It's just pathetic. So, and I feel this thing, and I wrote back to him, and I wrote back to Fez. I did watch, and it looked like the coaches treated him like he was a washed-up old nobody. It's because he comes and he's standing at the thing like, hey, you guys are done. And you just see them looking at him.
Being polite.
Like, it almost looked like if somebody, hey, I used to do AM radio back in the 50s, so I know that these are your cans that you use, right? You know, and you're just like, yeah, Gramps. So, yeah, he had that thing. And when he left, they all kind of looked at each other like, boy, does he out of touch, right?
Gruden.
So I said it made him look like a washed-up old nobody. And then Fez writes to me, yeah, I was nervous about that. They were all smiling big when he left, and you know they were laughing after the edit. All I could think of is that must be what Chris does after I send him a suggestion email.
Chris, is that true?
He has to make Hard Knocks about me.
So then I wrote back to him, yes, Chris prints your emails and puts them on the wall, and then the kids write jokes on them.
Oh, my God, Chris.
And then Fez wrote back to me, at least he's doing that much because he certainly never answers them.
Oh, my God.
Why don't you answer,
tense.
dude?
I answer them. I get a lot of emails. I answer them most of the time.
You guys were bros for so many years.
For a long time.
Enough that he notices that you're not answering.
Oh, look, they're very long emails, and that's just, I see a giant block of text, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And sometimes I don't go all the way through it. Or sometimes.
Oh my God, that's not good for somebody. Like, no one should ever confess that to someone they work with.
But
see
he's
all
trying
the
to help you
words.
because you're an awful producer. I just think if Faz going like this, no, sorry, dude, can't go to the movies with you. I'm waiting to get an email back by this kid I'm helping.
You're ruining his life.
How am I ruining his? He shouldn't be watching Hard Knocks. Especially with the Bucks. It's just going to make him upset.
Dude, the Bucks look really like unbeatable right now.
I know.
They got Deshaun, and it just looks like we got everything.
It looks exciting for Bucks fans.
I'm watching it. I'm going like this. Get a hold of my Vegas bookie. 60 to 1 odds. I'll take those odds at $10,000.
Oh, my God.
It's not bad. And then I go win 600,000.
That'd be nice.
Chris,
I don't want to be one of those people. Oh, I bet the long shot, and I'm getting 1,500. Who fucking cares then?
I would fucking throw that money out if that happened. If I called
sure, with all the money you got
I don't.
from your settlement.
Now, do you have big plans with your money for football season?
There-
With your winnings?
I have no plans. All I know is I will be betting on the NFL this season, and that's it. I'm not talking about how much I'm betting. I will be betting.
Can you
on
tell
the NFL.
us-
It has nothing to do with any settlements.
Can you
or
tell us
anything.
more or less than you usually do?
I'm going to just be betting on the NFL. That's all everyone needs to know.
It seems like this isn't part of the confidential. I think that somebody could say what they're spending.
Yeah.
It's no one's business where that money comes from.
I'll tell you this, Chris says to me every weekend, always bet on black.
So you said?
I do say that. I text him every day around 12:55.
Answer Fezzy back, will you?
Okay, I'll go back. Should I go back and retroactively answer every?
You know what I think you should do? You should write one yourself. Reach out to him.
Okay,
You start the situation.
I'll start a new chain.
I think so.
And I know I've talked to him about Big Brother maybe last season.
And that's a year ago.
He said you guys spoil it for him anyway.
He should watch the feeds. I'll give him Vito's
Fees?
login.
Oh, they took it away from me.
Oh,
They
because you're
did?
giving them out.
No,
You're
because-
whoring that shit out.
I forgot to update my credit card information.
Jesus
And they took it away from me, and I just keep forgetting to put it back in.
How are we going to do Big Brothers on Friday if we're not watching?
Well,
the
now I'm
feeds?
using somebody else's, so you guys are on your own.
That's bullshit. I gave Gail my
Just
Hulu account. And Ron, you can have it as well.
No,
if you'd
thank
like.
you.
I would
I
just-
very much enjoyed Handmaid's Tale.
You know how he doesn't answer Fez back? Chris sent me so many texts today that I finally wrote back to him. Are you talking to me?
Oh my God.
I just wanted to keep you updated. and
Wait,
abreast
on
of
the chain?
everything.
Or this is just.
No, it was just to me, but it was all like, audiences got here. Looks like Joe Coy is Robert. You know, just all these things that I don't give a
Right.
fuck about. So finally, after a while, I just write, are you talking to me? And then he literally answered what he just did then. He's the same thing that he said here. He wrote
Just-
to me in a text.
Just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, boss, just keep me updated.
Oh God.
Keep me abreast of the situation. Want to make sure everything's happening all right.
That is kind of your go-to thing. Like I've noticed anytime you're getting shit
knows his
for
way.
plugs, he's just like, just want to get the information out to the people.
He
Just want to get these plugs out.
he actually said he thinks he's helping by telling Gurion when the unmasked star.
I thought Gurion would have liked to have seen Joe Coy.
I'm sure he'd like to see everybody.
He
What
jumps
does that
around.
got to
Of
do
course
with
he does.
anything?
He loves comedy, and he thinks it matters.
Gurion News Network.
But why alert him?
I will no longer alert Gurion.
Oh,
I'll,
now that just sounds mean
hey, Vito,
spirited.
pull that and send it to fucking Gurion. But Splice sent me going like this. Chris, will you please alert Gurion? And then have him, I will no longer alert Gurion. Jen's mom and sister were here today.
Yes, they
Adorable.
were. They're such a sweet family and huge Joe Coy fans.
Why do they love Joe Coy so much? They're acting like Trinidad is the Philippines?
Well, a lot
Is it
of
just
like,
the immigrant story?
yeah, I guess just the immigrant story and like a lot of the jokes my mom can relate to.
Because she does it.
Well, like, you know, his mom is an immigrant. My family kind of relates to like an Asian background. So,
So funny. People of the world, you know what I mean? They just want to be seen.
Yeah. And people, that's the biggest thing is I think when people go, oh my God, my mom does that.
Yeah.
Like that to me is like so successful
Yeah.
for any type of writer, performer, comedian.
Like when
They love to see their like childhood mirrored back to them.
Yeah, like when Chris was doing stand up, and he was like, "You remember how when your mom would be tying off your dad, and then every time she'd go to shoot him up, he'd miss, and he'd be like, "What are you doing? I'll shoot myself up. You couldn't hit a vein if it was painted." And you know, people would stare at Chris and be like, "Dude,
Most of
dude,
my
what's
sets
wrong with you?"
are methadone clinics.
John, Texas.
Hey there, Ron. You know, I guess it was a couple years ago, Chris Stanley used to have a saying going, wait, what? And Fox
yeah,
News has got the specialists that do a segment called Wait What? I figured maybe Chris Stanley could get some suing there on the copyrights.
I'm calling my lawyer.
Wait, hold on. When
Ron.
was this time that his catchphrase was, wait, what?
You remember
That's
that.
what he was trying to. That's because he's confused about everything.
The guy doesn't know about shit.
Chris, are you getting on that other radio sub for that friend of ours?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
I'm going to ask again.
Yes, I have the radio number. It will be arriving shortly. Or I'll get it'll be activated shortly, is what I'm saying.
Arriving.
Yeah, it's already there. It just needs to be activated.
Eliza in the UK.
Hello, Ronnie. How
Hello,
you
Eliza.
doing, Ronnie?
Yeah.
I just wanted to give you a little tinkle on the phone
Uh-huh.
and tell
And tell what? Eliza.
Oh, no.
Eliza?
That connection in the UK.
Yeah, that happens when you're across the pond.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not a pond. That's an ocean. You don't
Looks so
understand.
small from here.
It's gigantic. I mean, not compared to Pacific, but it's still a decent-sized ocean. Much bigger than any pond I've ever seen. Why do people like to say that? Like it's like a fun little joke.
Oh, they love to say it.
Pond.
Yeah. They love to say it. I don't like any taking a common British term that we don't use in the States
Mm-hmm.
and then using it here.
Well, like queue up. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like you hear
That took
something.
over, dude.
Did
Queued
I-
up has taken over in the
And
States.
I blame Netflix because it was like in your Netflix queue and people started to say that. And then I started to be like, yeah, so everyone's queued up outside. And you're like, excuse me? When did we start doing this? This isn't our thing. We don't say queue up.
When I started radio, we used to say queued up the song, but we never say queued up
Right.
anything else. And now no one says that because you don't need to queue up a song.
Right.
You know, it used to be like, God, he's really good at queuing stuff up. We got to let him do all the queuing.
I mean,
He queues
that's
everything.
cute.
And it starts right at the beginning. Because a lot of people are like, I've queued it up. And you start like 2 beats in. What the fuck are you doing, man? You didn't fucking queue that up right. And we look like a bunch of fucking daydream Johnnies.
But like if you hear somebody say like, I'm gonna go to the loo and I'll be right back, it like boils my blood. It boils my blood.
I do now call my schedule.
Schedule.
I go out of my way to do that. I go, I'll check my schedule. But you don't like when someone says, I took a big shit at the loo.
No, I don't like that for so many reasons. I wouldn't like that sentence.
I also don't like people eating meat pies at sporting events. Can you believe that they break for a meat pie instead of a hot dog?
Yeah,
insanity.
that's what they do.
And
Everyone's
they
just
use
a
like
little-
they use utensils, right? They're not just like biting into the fucking
No,
meat pie with
you
their hands.
like sometimes
Yeah.
you can do like they'll come like with a little wax paper like
Like
this.
a personal pan meat pie.
All
yeah,
right. Still.
and you can eat it.
But some of them are like big meat pies.
Yeah.
That you sit down and have lunch. They're like, don't take your meat pie back. Eat it here. You don't like a meat pie?
Not a sporting event.
I don't
like a
fucking
meat pie.
love a meat pie. I fucking love a meat pie.
I don't.
Name a meat pie. I like it.
Okay. Frank? I don't know what to name them.
Mince,
Um,
shepherd,
Okay.
chicken pot.
Those are all English names that I have no time for. By the way, I don't consider a chicken pot pie to be a meat pie. That is a poultry pie.
You have to have a dark meat. All right.
I think you have to have a meat to be a meat.
yeah.
I do not consider poultry to be a meat.
Really?
It's something different. It's poultry.
You wouldn't call poultry a meat?
Never. I never. Somebody say, "Oh, can you bring some meat?" I'll go, "Yeah, I'll bring a bucket of wings." How's that sound for you?
I would think that was okay. If
You-
somebody says, like, what kind of meats? What kind of meat options do you have? I would sit there and go, beef, chicken, pork. I would
could
put chicken in the mix.
I would put pork and meat and beef as a meat. I don't consider.
You don't, any
chicken.
fowl does not go into.
It's foul.
Yeah.
It's foul. It's a later thing. It's like fish. Is that meat? No, because
No.
it's different. Fish, fowl, beef, pork. That's my.
I just
four.
thought for
That's my
sure
four group.
that we were only going meat and fish. I thought that these are the only two options we had, and chicken went under the meat umbrella.
You know what? I don't trust
delicious
Vito
meat.
and Chris because they line up me like, I want to be on the Alpha Boy. And of course, I don't trust Jen.
No,
she's with you
She's gonna
constantly.
be with me.
Let's bring in both interns. By the way,
Damn,
up
those
on
are
the,
wild cards.
Yeah, they are. They're wild cards. No one knows. A couple things on the iBang and what you see today. Couple busted for having sex at State Fair. Fantastic news story. Also, the lady calls American Airlines workers a meth. I like that. And Trump's real news. People are obsessed with that. All right. Kids, I don't want you to even look at each other, but thanks for color coordinating. It means a lot to me. Okay?
Great.
We're the off-red guys. Do you consider turkey and chicken to be a meat? Let's go first to an Indian from the Cree Indian reservation. Justin, what do you have?
No, but
Justin's mic.
That's all you need to say.
You should
Justin, your
share with
Spence?
Yeah, I would say they both are a meat.
Okay. We're now stuck, tied. Now, use this mic with him. Your mic is out completely.
Okay.
Why you, somebody who hunts, traps, understands the ways of the world, why isn't poultry a meat?
because like I've had goose, which is you were talking about
Yes.
fowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is very meaty. Like that's I call it steak of the sky.
Interesting idea, because I've been looking for a new restaurant. Steak in the sky could be what I go for. Goose, I don't even know if you've ever eaten it before, Chris.
I've had goose cracklings, but I don't think I've ever had like goose
What are the
meat.
cracklings?
It's like fried up pieces of goose. It was fucking delicious.
That sounds really good.
Good. And I'm a big duck fan.
Yeah,
And that's much
duck's awesome.
kind of oilier.
Is that
Yeah.
where duck
Grease
sauce
here.
comes from?
Yes, duck sauce does come from duck. Now, you know about the steak of the sky, the goose, right?
Pretty much.
So you know now you were wrong with the chicken, so just back away from Gail
Oh.
and
Wait,
tell
no.
her that fowl is not a meat.
Look, nobody was asking about what is steak in the sky. We're saying
Steak in the
chicken.
sky, keep on turning.
If somebody says, "Do you eat meat?" They're talking beef. They're talking pork. They're talking chicken.
Oh, I see where that's playing now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought turkey was a meat. Oh my god! Because then on Thanksgiving, though, that's where turkey is usually given.
Yeah, true.
That's one of the places, yes.
Turkey giving.
Oh, okay. I'll have to research this later to be sure.
Well, Chris is researching it now.
Okay.
See, what constitutes a meat, Chris?
Do you want like just a standard meat definition?
Yes, definition of meat.
All right. The flesh of an animal
Animal. Not a bird.
Bird is an animal.
Is
as
it?
food.
What's that?
The flesh of an animal as food.
Right. What is an animal then? Is a bird an animal?
I'm going to look up animal.
God, Chris, don't make
Oh
me
boy, I should have learned this at school. They should have a class on this. Animals and meats for.
I mean,
it
let me
should be
ask you
for
this.
natural science 10, 11 or something.
Would you consider the human being to be an animal? Or is it something separate? Spence.
I would say yes, because humans and animals are both living things.
Right, but so is a plant. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
And
true.
that isn't. But let me say
Right,
this.
yeah.
You've read the book Animal Farm by George Orwell, right? No humans
Yeah.
in there whatsoever.
True.
And some fowl. Chris,
Yes.
answer the question. you
Oh
want to
my
look at.
God, Chris.
An animal is a living organism that feeds on organic matter.
Shit. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Just right as a turkey an animal. God, it takes them so long to do anything.
Type this out.
Type it out.
Type it
I
out.
have to type it out. Type it out, Spence. Type it out.
They're just saying
Do an
that-
impression of him.
Not saying an animal, they're saying it's a bird.
It's a bird.
It's a bite dog.
It's
my
a bird dog. All right, so
Hold on,
if it's-
Victor in Long Island. Let's let Victor in
All
Long
right.
Island.
take a crack at this.
Victor?
Hello, Benningtons. How are you?
Good.
Well, when people say I stopped eating red meat, chicken is what they eat, right?
Right, exactly.
Because
So,
you specified
then-
red.
So
That's a
therefore,
great point.
chicken is not a what? Meat.
no, this is saying
No, chicken is a meat. Chicken is a meat. They stopped eating red meat, so they're eating chicken meat.
it's a type of meat.
Well, first of all, is ham a red meat?
No, it's the other white
the
meat.
other white
Pork
meat.
is the other white
Yeah,
meat.
so all you're saying is that beef is a non-white meat, and that is a form of racism. But when Joe Coy told that story about the kid who looked at his mom and then pulled his eyes back,
It was so heartbreaking.
yeah, I never see prejudice from the other side, so it's always surprising to me that it's not just funny.
Yeah.
From a white point of view, prejudice is always so funny.
Yeah.
But you find out after you meet some minorities that it's not always funny.
I always love when somebody is talking about something like that happening, a word being said, and then it'll be a white person. They're like, "I don't find it offensive," and it's like, "Well, it wasn't meant to offend you, so that's perfect."
I'm not offended by any racist jokes.
I don't relate at all. Hey, Ron. I mean, I have a joke for you. It has to do with the meats and the turkey. So, because now I know that you said turkey and chicken are not the same thing, and that birds are not really animals. You should probably teach a class at a college for that.
That is a good joke.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get anybody to sign up for it.
If anybody's going to reregister for Ron Bennington's class,
I would love it.
I'm kidding.
I'll tell you this. I would say to everybody, you guys are my jive turkeys. Because that's something I learned from black people, that we call people turkeys when we think they're not up to our cool factor.
That's how you're going to reach the kids.
I do reach the kids that way. And I go like this. Let me tell you about somebody else who thought that people didn't believe in. Sly and the Family Stone. One of you kids' favorite performers. Tim, Louisiana.
Yes, sir. I'm a duck and goose hunter, and just wanted to tell you, we call the geese a ribeye in the sky.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I love
Ribeye
it.
in the sky.
A little more specific than I wanted to get, but I like it. Ryan in Tennessee. Ryan.
Yeah, Ronnie, the USDA defines what meat is.
Yes, sorry.
Food processing plants across the country that are protein. That's a meat. That's why USDA inspects food plants that are protein-based.
So Gail is the big winner, chicken dinner.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Also is now a meat dinner.
Isn't that from the movie 21?
It is.
Yeah.
Ryan, I'm going to send you into the pretty good prize closet.
Pretty good meat closet.
For me, I'm going to feel bad about myself because I thought fowl was not meat. By the way, see how I would have wasted myself taking my two acolytes who just like, yeah, boys, everything you said is right. That's what they do behind me. That's exactly right. Do me a favor and write fucking Fez back today and tell him sorry that you've been such a prick.
All right, I'm gonna write that back. I'll go back through the other emails. Fine.
Let me tell you something. You don't write Fez back. He was doing this business when you were still shitting green. Which was 2 weeks ago. All right, that's it for us. We got to get out of here, but we're back tomorrow. We got anything big planned tomorrow, Chris?
Oh, we have a guest coming in, and we're announcing street jokes tomorrow.
Oh, we have a guest coming in,
Yeah,
huh?
we have a guest.
Do I know who it is?
Yes, you know who it is.
Is it somebody who's been on the show before?
Yes.
Is it me?
It's not you.
You don't consider me a guest, do you?
Is it Gail?
It's not Gail, no.
Well, why won't you say? Why the teeth?
They were on an episode of Street Jokes, I'll tell you that.
I don't know them then. All right. We'll see you guys again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!